wizard is never late. Right. Good evening. Have I got everything open? I have a lot of tabs open. What did we get up to last time? You guys obviously created some shenanigans because I had to open up a lot of Chrome tabs. Boats.
We definitely killed the gnome.
Boats and how?
He does not exist anymore.
The gnome doesn't exist. Who is that gnome?
That was a
Where
gnome?
will he appear again?
We perfectly executed a thoroughly planned boat heist.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, you got out. I liked. There was like that part of my brain has to be like, yeah, we didn't kill everyone. That was good. And then you were like, it was perfect. See, we got out of everything we needed. I'm like, is that your definition of perfect? There was a moment where my brain like cycled through all the possibilities of Zaga dying. I was just like, oh my god, if he gets left behind, what happens? Like, does he get killed? Does he get taken? Does he get everything? I was like, oh no. That's when you two were talking about jumping out of a window. I was like, oh shit, this could turn. But
I'll be honest, I did do a bit of outsider knowledge to rescue him.
It was when you were like, did you scream when you fell down? Reeves was like, nah. It's like, oh fuck.
No, did you? Did you?
But did you scream? Because you haven't. And I was like, if you want, you did get stabbed. There's a chance for screaming. You're like, no. I was like, he's dead. He's rolling a new character next week because we're fucked. Yeah, it was nice. But yeah, the boat heist. It happened. It was. I think the second half was quite good. The first half felt very calamitous. The second half, there was a lot thrown in different stages, and it came about. You left with, if I remember correctly, a bag of things with Arta that he grabbed from the room, and a thing. Was it a case or a bag which had one thing in that Von Van had?
Yeah, no, I chucked a load of stuff in Zaga's bag of holding, and then I came out with the one case, I think.
Okay. Which I know it was one way round. Cool. So you have.
I also have a gold-plated letter opener that is not magical, and a letter that I snatched.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure these are totally useless.
I mean, there must be a reason that someone has a gold-plated letter opener.
Or to open the letter that I snatched, presumably.
And that's the end of that. I love it. It's disintegrated after. So no, you got some stuff. So, recap. You had the boat heist. It was the mission to get yourself back on board with Vex and crew. They sent you in as a two-team mission. The first team, the other guys, who were friendly towards you, giving you some potions at the start. Their job was to get off some cargo. You were to go on board, get what you could do, and it was all going to be a lovely, merry mission. You did find out that potentially they had given you something that wasn't a healing potion, as Corin drank one of the potions that were handed to him and immediately vomited and passed out, I do believe. Which was strange. How did that happen? But you did get onto the boat. They did get away with the cargo, so the mission from that point was a success. You guys had to fight some mimics down in the captain's quarters, finding two ways into the room. One brute force entry, and the other one by finding the secret entrance at the back of the ship. And then on trying to escape and leave. Running into the gnome, who was supposed to, I read after and forgot, was supposed to have a Welsh accent, which I pretty much didn't do. So, retcon, you remember him having a Welsh accent because that's what gnomes have. And I'll have no one saying anything otherwise. But yes.
So can you do it now just for context?
No, I haven't got but do you know what? After, I went and watched a lot of Martin Sheen videos and still couldn't quite nab it. So, when he comes
just
back...
Just saying dragon.
You didn't watch Gavin and Stacey?
No, I didn't want it to be too... I mean, come on, I've got to be class. I'm an actor here.
Or the Lambooner.
Yeah. No, he wasn't Welsh, anyway. That's bloody James Corden.
He was a twat, though.
Exactly.
He's
Stay
a
away
twat,
from that.
Yeah, I say.
Have you learned the recess characters yet?
No. Yeah, well, we got that voice. Kins was happy with it. So yeah, you fought with the gnome and his construct birds, defeating both birds, and the gnome disappearing into invisibility as you escaped the ship with some loot in hand. Made your way before more people turned up to the dock area, into the back streets of the beer port of Redvant, and that is where we left off. You haven't taken a rest. You've just been running, kind of zigzagging through the streets to find yourself a quiet corner. It is later in the evening. I think you waited till the ship came in at 6, and with what transpired there, it's winter, so it's probably only 7:30 max. with all that going on, but it is deep, dark night as it is a January day. So I shall cut back to you guys. You have got from the ship. You feel with where you're standing now, kind of just, if you imagine, you've kind of darted left and right through some streets, round some of these larger factory buildings, and you know the walls that were there, the big palisade walls that block off everything. So the kind of the sight lines down each of the streets are pretty poor. You don't, if someone ran and turned left and you wouldn't catch them because the gates aren't see-through. In most instances, they're solid. So you got yourself away, found yourself a quiet corner. Doesn't seem to be much around, catching your breath. And we cut back to you guys. How would you like to get where would you like to go from here, and how would you like to get yourself out of Beerport after what has just happened?
So I think we're making our way to the Alp camp, aren't we?
Yeah, against the Alp camp. As we planned before we started this whole shindig.
Definitely.
Because we did plan something.
You did plan that. You did plan that, I remembered. I just want to see if you remember. Nice. So you want to make your way down to the Old Bridge, is definitely the name of it.
It was, yeah.
So I've made up loads of names and then forget them immediately. So the route down to Old Bridge, you have to get yourself off well, there's multiple ways. You know that the river runs. You'd have to run against the current of the river, but the river runs down to Old Bridge if you wanted to try and find your way down the river to get yourself there, or you can kind of blend in with the night crowds as much as you can, and it's dark streets to make yourself make your way across the bridge from the port to the main part of Redvant, and then south through the town. There'll be you can walk through if you want, but if you are trying to hide or make sure no one else is going to spot you or see where you're going, there can be a series of checks if you'd like to try and stay out of sight. But I suppose it's up to you. Do you want to hightail it there as quick as you can, trying to dodge what's going on? Do you want to try and find a different route, or do you want to try and kind of sneak and stealth your way there to not leave a trace?
Kind of try and blend in and head through the town to get there, I think. Unless anyone else wants to do something different.
No, that sounds what I was going to do.
Cool.
Oh, that's really good at being conspicuous.
You're really good at being stealthy. Nice.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Cool. So, does anyone have anything they want to use to aid themselves? You're already dressed like dock workers to some extent. I know some of you had put some bits on. Is there anything anyone would like to use to help them with this kind of, I suppose, check, or any disguises or anything you'd like to do, or are you just going to try and make your way inconspicuously through the city?
I do have a disguise kit that I'm proficient with.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to use it to make myself red, because everyone's seen a blue-silver kobold, but no one's seen a red kobold.
Smart.
And that would definitely throw them off.
I mean, aren't you covered in blood anyway?
I mean, yeah, a lot of it's my own.
Yeah.
We'll blend that in with the red paint.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's anything. You're making your way, so you don't know what the fallout is, right? You know that the other guys have got away with what they needed. You know that people were coming back to the port, but obviously there was a slight ruckus. There was a giant orb of dark that went over the ship, and then a fight that happened from there. So you're not sure who might be out or what are looking for you. It's just anything that might aid you in kind of keeping yourself.
While I make myself red, I offer to help disguise Arta silvery blue.
So you're just switching colours. We're like,
hey. I just accept it.
Okay. I use my disguise kit to make Arta silvery blue.
Nice. Anyone else?
Can't do anything with the Alps. They're too tall for me to reach their heads.
They are.
Arta bends down, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, face paint.
Niels.
I love face paint.
I don't really have anything, so I'll just go on.
Go as well. Nice. Okay. If no one's trying anything else, cool. You make your way south through. Can you all give me individually stealth checks? If you are proficient, you can roll with advantage. If you have disguised yourself, you can roll with advantage. If you've done nothing, you have to roll straight.
18.
I'll just straight roll because my armor gives me this.
Oh yeah.
22.
Nice.
16.
I've only rolled straight, but it was a 21, so I'll
Yeah,
take it.
fine. Yeah.
18.
18. There we go. The rolls are in.
Told you I could be conspicuous.
You
No one
can-
believed
yeah,
me.
exactly. Average of 19. Nice. So you know these streets and you know this route as you make your way through the town, across the bridge. The bridge you see as you get kind of from the port is on the kind of north spit of this part of Redvant, of the town. As you make your way kind of down and through the town, it gets busier. And you can hear the factories are still going, even if it's into the night. They're well into their second part of the shift. You're seeing a few of those delivery drivers and trucks and knocking around. So there's enough people to kind of blend in. You're not the only people on the streets, and you do a good enough job of blending yourself in, getting yourself across the bridge back into the main town, and you steer clear. You know, turning right will take you towards Silent Dagger. Taking your way left, you kind of skirt through the residential area towards the old bridge that you know or have known so well. And yeah, you get there as well as you think you get there. Those were pretty good rolls. Nice. As you meander through, it probably takes you, with taking yourself slowly, not trying to walk too quickly. It's about 30 minute walk to make your way inconspicuously towards Old Bridge. And you see it coming up on the horizon as you make your way through the streets. The edge of the gates, the palisade gates that have been left open, and you can see outside it the light movement of the elves and the Sylvan Dark border control guys moving about. A few of their lamps around the entrance lit up as you make your way, into Old Bridge. Where would you like to go?
I'd like to head towards the makeshift temple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can make your way. Are you all going together? Or
Yeah.
I'm going to head towards the hippogriff. If it's still there.
Nice.
I'm gonna head into where Meadow is.
Cool. Yeah. So there's the medical part, which is kind of off to the left with where you had the meetings and stuff before, and then to the right as you walk in is where the temple is. Going, Vaughn, as you go into the temple and you have a look around, you don't notice anyone. Well, you notice a few guys moving around. You don't see Bo in there. You see a few people milling around towards the front, doing some tidying and setting some stuff up. But there's not a lot of people in here. Obviously, the first time you came in here, there were people that were resting because they'd been attacked and were recovering. It's pretty quiet this time of night in the kind of church area. But yeah, at a quick glance, you see a few people towards the front, but not from sight. You wouldn't see Bo.
I was hoping to see both. I also thought the medical bit was here as well. If it's separate, then
Yeah.
to be honest, I was more going to go try and
Find it.
see if we can get some medical help for the people that got down.
You can inquire with the guy. You'd probably be better going to where if Bo's not here, you've probably got a pretty good guess that he's back at where he was before, kind of being the chief carer for Meadow.
Yeah. I mean, not seeing Bo here.
Nice.
Head over to there then.
So yeah, you trot yourself and catch up the guys as they get in towards the medical tent, and as you get towards the front, I forgot everyone's names. Sorry, I opened the wrong thing. You get towards the front of the tent, Faywin, and you see Bo out front, and you see the Captain Thalor, the kind of main captain guard that was that you've been speaking to in a lot of your travels. No sign of Sylvanus, but yeah, you see these two stood outside the front of that kind of medical block that was next to the captain's quarters.
Cool. So I'd like to go up to them and say, "How is she?" Assuming they know who I mean.
It doesn't take long for the recognition to kick in, and the captain says, good to see you both. She's doing okay. She's been coming in and out of consciousness, still very, very weak, but she has given us some good information. She's resting at the moment. She's been sleeping a lot for the days, and I believe yes, it's good you're here. We were going to Sylvanus was going to contact you to call you in the morning to go through what you found, but so far so good with her recovery.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Can I see her?
Yes. No. You can. I would recommend waking her, but you can definitely go and see her now. She has been asleep. And Bo kind of cuts in and says, "Yeah, we've sedated her slightly to help with the processing of things. Roll a perception check, Faywin."
13.
As Bo's going through this information with you and he's kind of telling you stuff, you can just kind of see in his face that there's something that he's not 100% comfortable with, as he's talking about, like, they've had to sedate her to keep her calm because she's been dealing with, like, processing what she's seen and some of the information, and there's just something in his face that he's just not 100%, you can see he's not 100% comfortable.
When you... Bo, was it Bo?
Bo, yeah.
Bo, when you say you need to help her with processing, like, what does she see out there that's meant you've had to sedate her?
Bo looks up towards looks towards the captain, and the captain says, she has been recounting some stories of her time, and some of it is we're not sure how much of it is hallucination, how much of it is potentially being caused by the trauma she's gone through, or whether it is indeed real, the things that she has been talking about. Hence, we're trying to get her in as stable condition as possible to understand. But I would feel more comfortable having this conversation with you all with Sylvanus in the morning if you are able to come back or stay for the evening. Sylvanus is out and left yesterday, but is due back for the morning to give counsel on the situation.
Okay, so I kind of nod slowly and then look round, and can I see the others coming towards us at this point?
Yeah, most of the guys would have been around you at the time. Only
Okay,
if Arthur went to look for the hippogriff, and as you go to look for where the hippogriff was tied up, there is no hippogriff there.
Oh no, he's gonna.
Arthur cries.
Okay, so in that case, then I'd say to Bo, we seem to have run into a bit of bother, and a few of my friends here are hurt. I don't know if you've got anything that could help them. I'm happy to wait to speak to Sylvanus in the morning, but in the meantime, could we maybe rest here?
Yes, I'm sure that will be fine. He talks and then kind of looks up at the captain, and the captain like nods. He's like, yes, please take quarters in where you have stayed before. We can definitely put you up and get you a meal and provide you with give some good berries if they will help. But I know a rest will definitely do the world of good if you stay, and then you'll be here for the morning meeting, I suppose.
I look around at the others for some sort of confirmation.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Sagara's wandered off.
Nice.
Ara has also wandered off looking for the hippogriff. Maybe it's escaped from its rope or something.
From where it is. Nice. Cool. So yeah, that's what they say. So the captain's like, yes, so you know where the mess hall is. So please make yourself comfortable. We will point you towards the quarters for yourself, getting yourself a nice rest. And yes, we're expecting Sylvanus back with the sun tomorrow morning. So if you are here already, that would definitely speed up the meeting. But yes, there's some interesting findings to go through.
Thank you.
As you kind of have the conversation, Bo kind of just reaches his hand out towards you, Fabian, and says, I can take you in to see Meadow if you would like. And he kind of looks again up to the captain, who gives a somewhat of a nod, not a fully comfortable nod. If you would like to see her, I again do not recommend that we wake her, but you can see her progress at least.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you. And I put my hand in my pocket and give the weasel a little tickle under the chin.
Oh, what the fuck's that?
Of him.
Meadow is allergic to weasels. You get her.
No, let her die.
Cool. So yeah, he takes you into the room, into the door, and kind of insinuates he's just taking one person in and doesn't want 8 people or 6 people going into the room with you. And the rest of you are free to kind of get some food, get some drink that's there in the mess hall. There's not a huge amount. It's not like a tavern, or wander around and see what else is going on if you would like to do anything. But yeah, the evening is there for you. Think about that, and we'll carry on. So yeah, Faywin, he kind of walks in and closes the door behind, and you can see the rest. It's not like a huge. It's like not much bigger than like an office porter cabin in size. And you can see there's a few of these that are along the road, but there's probably at least 3 other beds in here that are completely empty. And Meadow is on the one right at the very end. She's the only person that's in here, and the lights are completely dimmed down. There's like a very light torch that's just lit, casting this kind of like orange glow over the whole cabin, which kind of gives it a real gloomy air. Like you can just see her shadow in the background as you're making your way in. And he kind of steps you towards her, and like one bed's length away from her, kind of stops. And as you look, see, you can see Meadows laying there. You can still see some of the darkening on her arm, on her left arm, as she's laying there, along the veins. That they're still the veins are still dark within her skin in some instances, but she looks incredibly peaceful and looks to be breathing normally as you stand.
Oh, Meadow. I start to cry, quietly, as to not wake her up, but with relief that she's alive.
Bo kind of probably gives you like half a minute to kind of process, and he's just stood, and you can sense like as you're looking down crying that there's like very unrestful with his hands. Like there's a lot of movement, and he waits what he feels is a long time, and kind of whispers over to you to say, the treatment for Meadow has been going well, but we've come to the end of what we can do with our resources here. And apologies for dropping all of this on you now, but if you really care for Meadow, there's going to be a difficult decision to make. He's like, tomorrow, I believe Sylvanas is going to tell you about what Meadow has found and the decision that the elves have made. But for Meadow herself, he believes we've done all that we can here, and risking any further resources is not viable. And this is true. We have tried everything. I've tried everything within my powers, but my powers are only limited. So be prepared tomorrow for this, for the information that we believe. Well, Sylvanas wants us to let Meadow pass away peacefully, but I do think there is one way that we can save her, and it's a long shot.
But what? Bo, she nearly died protecting the forest. How can they say that they've used all the resources? What can we do? There has to be something.
It's a very long shot, which is why it's been kind of left. There's rumours. Well, there's spells beyond that which we have resources for here. You know, this is just a border control facility. This isn't a high-end medical facility. We deal with very basic incantations and very basic medical aid and magic, but there is greater aid that could be provided with the right ingredients. There is rumours of within the border forest of what we call a diamond mushroom, which if we could get our hands on, I believe we could at least make the potion or prepare the spells to try the one thing we haven't tried, to really give Meadow the best chance. I've asked, and Sylvanas is having he's not willing to look into it. We don't know where the diamond mushroom grows, only that it is It is protected by some of the forest creatures, and we know that some of the borderland folk can and have had access to it in the past. It's a very, very crazy long shot, but if you could get some of this mushroom and get it back to me here, we could potentially work on something. I can point you in the rough direction within the borderlands of the families that could help you find it, and that's as good as a lead as I can give you. But I wanted to tell you this before you got the news tomorrow, where the picture is going to look a lot more bleak.
But surely by Sylvanas is the communicator between the creatures and the forest, surely she would know where the diamond mushroom is. She would know how to get it and be able to have somebody source it. Why won't she help? Why won't she give this a go?
The forest is not safe, and I believe the information you're going to get tomorrow will be of greater importance than just this one matter, which is why Sylvanas has taken this line. But if you do want to help Meadow, this is the one way. I can point you in the direction of the the borderlands, and the families that may be able to help you there. It will get you out of the city for a bit, and there's not much chartered there, but the borderland folk, they have been known to help us in the past.
Sorry, just out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Is Borderland different? It's not in the forest? It's somewhere else?
It's outside.
Or...
Yeah, roll a history check.
Okay. 24. I know everything about the Borderland, including where the diamond mushrooms are.
You don't know where the diamond mushrooms are.
Okay.
You do. Good try. The borderlands are. So yeah, you don't know about it. You would have travelled. You probably would have travelled through. You would have definitely travelled through the borderlands. Sorry, with Meadow at times to get down from Allhearth to the border forest. So that section. Where's my map? That section below Allhearth, but above the border forest, is like swamp and plain lands. What happened is there was a load of families. So if you imagine that border forest was created 500 odd years ago. There wasn't just nothing there in the land when the Druids created this forest and kind of stretched it and pulled it across the continent. There was villages there and settlements and families, and essentially they were just trashed and left as they were just like bulldozed. It was like, hey, we need to build this forest to separate the two countries because there's this war that's happened. I'm sorry, pick north or pick south. You need to pick a new country now because we're dividing it up. So a lot of people moved south and a lot of people moved north. Those that weren't comfortable moving to like an Allhearth or to a Redvant or to one of the larger cities had made settlements, and they call themselves the borderland families. So they're not actually families. There's like essentially groups of people that were displaced 500 years ago because their town was just going to be covered by the Druids in the forest, were told to go and set up elsewhere, decided they didn't want to go to Allhearth. They didn't want to go and live in big cities. They wanted to recreate. So there's like 5 or 6 settlements probably across the borderlands where there's these families that live there. So you would have travelled through some of them. Some of them are, they look like these families that kind of have different things. A lot of them are they're like very nature based. So there's some that will look after the rivers. So actually on the west side, there's a family that look after the river and look after the crossing from the border forest south. Like that's one of their jobs that they work in there. And as you get into the centre, there's some of them, the families that work much closer with the swampland, and some that work much closer with the forest. And each of them are either potion characters or like herbicists. That's not the right word, is it? And that's just where they live. So there's it's not like big settlements that we marked on maps, but there's few there. People do travel through there, but yeah, you'd have travelled through some of them, as you know. But it's not like they're not pinpoint big old cities. These are much smaller clusters, very internalised families, very much look after themselves. They do a bit of trade outside, but there's a bit of like mystery around them, and you know that there's these displaced people.
Right. Would they be likely to not like people from Allhearth, or like would there be particular groups of people they would like would they hate on Druids because Druids made the forest and displaced them, or would they hate on Allhearth because it's like ruling
no, not that you know of
Okay, cool.
24. Borderlands, the displacement of their families and their settlements was 500 years ago. So a lot of them have kind of let it go a little bit, and they're pretty settled. The families, they're just not large towns. It was just like, we don't want to go and live in a massive city. We want to carry on being farmers, or carry on living off the land, or carry on living off the swamp and looking after the swamp and living in very hippie style. And there's these they call themselves families, 3 families that operate across the Borderlands that kind of accept outcasts. So there's no one really that they have a stick up their arse for. And like I said, they call themselves the family because they stick together. And you'll find like a lot of like half orcs will live there. A lot of people that don't want to, have either been forced out of their main home, or just don't want to conform to like what their life would be. So there's probably a few dwarfs there as well, those that don't want to be mines, a few halflings that don't want to be farmers, there's a few like orcs that don't want to be out and go and fish the land. So those that don't find home within what their clan should be can find home in the Borderlands. So you just get a real mix of people.
Okay, cool. Okay, in that case, I'd like to thank Bo for thanks Bo for giving me a heads up. But I need to speak to the others. I need to process this information. But thank you so much for telling me. We can't just leave her like this. She, like I say, she risked her life for this forest, for our people, and to leave her just to die like this, it just doesn't feel right. But thank you for continuing to look after her.
No, it's fine. I agree. But yes, just this is the announcement, the information that Sylvanas will give you tomorrow is no light matter either. But I thought it best to tell you the reason the decision come to this way, and I will prepare all I can to help you, and be able to give you whatever information I can to get you to the right direction, at least for tomorrow, if you do agree to go on it. But yes, there's still a glimmer of hope.
Thank you.
And he kind of leads you back. Meadow just breathing away, very slightly. Again, he's kind of hinted that she's under kind of sedation, so she just looks very peaceful and asleep as you kind of leave the room. As that's happened, the rest of you were milling about. Who was doing what? Anyone want to do anything that they want to actually check for, or are you just having a booze?
I want sort of out of character some information.
Yep.
The in air quotes healing potion that's actually poison.
Yep.
Can I cut my weapon in that? My sword.
You can indeed. You could perform a Arcana check on it as well if you'd like to know exactly what it is, or you could just.
Well, I'll do that as well.
If you, I wouldn't do it now. So we'd say.
I was going to ask us to have a time limit on it.
Yeah, it would do. So it would be like a 10-minute type thing that, and with a, we'll have to look, but I'd say with the coating as well, it's probably likely you're only going to get like an attack or maybe 2 with it before.
Would it use the whole pot lot?
We can have a look at that if that's what you want to do. We can look at a rule for rolling how many coatings you get on it, depending on your thing. Okay. But yeah, if that's something you do, we can definitely look at it. But yeah, if you want to roll an Arcana check, you can actually find out what it is. You might have a guess.
Not very likely. 2 seconds. No, I have -2. That's going to make it 6.
A 6. No, as you look at it, it looks exactly like a potion of healing. If you were to like get one side by side, just at quick glance, like it moves the same as a potion of healing. You're like, wow, this is. Almost, it's more confusing looking at it and being like, this. What? Like if you were to put them side by side and pick one up, you would know, and you definitely don't want to get them mixed up. But it definitely made you puke.
Would we notice Corin looking at this bowl in this weird way?
If you all went into the mess hall and just wanted to sit down, those that want to it's up to you where you went from. So at some point, Fabian will come back and be able to tell you whatever's going on. But yeah, it's just whether you guys want to do anything in this kind of couple of minutes of downtime, or there was something you wanted to go and achieve whilst you're here. I'm leaving it up to you. So yeah, you could definitely have stayed with Yvonne, and because you saw him drink a potion, shoot a bow and arrow, puke, and then pass out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of suspicious.
We haven't had that conversation yet, have we? So, but I think we can leave it for a little while because I don't think he's going to answer right now. So, I kind of, in the mess hall, kind of just like sit on my own with. I'll grab some food, but kind of sit on my own, kind of looking off into the distance while I'm having something to eat. Just kind of like thinking over in my head that my mistake has almost got us all fucking killed this day. So I'm kind of like sat there very kind of in my own thoughts, not really taking in anything around me at the moment.
Cool. Very pensive.
Zaga will be sat outside, just off in a corner or something, half watching Arta wander around, muttering about a hippogriff.
Yep.
And he's going to open up the letter with his golden letter opener and see what this thing says.
Nice. Cool. So, sorry, all right.
This is when we find out it's in a language I don't read.
That would be evil. No, it's in the common tongue, and you can see the gist. I'm not going to like read out word for word, but the gist of the letter as you're reading through, it is from. It's signed by the Coven, and it is essentially details out an invitation and a plan to Oswell of Oswell's Aquatic Marvels to come and set up a semi-permanent camp within Hot Valley, and goes into a bit of detail about they're renovating the Hot Valley area. They want to build a stadium. They want to build this, essentially invest in like a shit Las Vegas, right? Like a casinos and shows, and to bring some money into Redvant and to really make money on. And the Coven themselves have got ownership of this whole area, and they want to. And essentially, it's an invitation with like a to be determined amount of money to be paid on a contract basis to have them come and kind of headline this stadium that they want to set up.
I also want to look at the letter opener and try and determine if it's worth any money.
You from the weight of it, you would. Give me an investigation check.
That is a 17.
17, nice. Yeah, you're pretty adept at seeing different expensive items passed around. From the weight of it alone, you feel like it's if not completely solid gold, very close to being solid. It's not plated. And you get that from the weight, and you try and like scratch away. It feels like it's a pretty legit gold item. So it would have some gold value. Whether it has value as a letter opener is another question. But as a item to be sold for gold, you definitely feel like there's some weight in it.
I stash it back in my pockets. I will not bother looking at the bag of holding for now. I'll leave that for later.
Nice.
I'm just going to watch Arta wander back and forth, looking at the same spots he's already looked at, suddenly expecting a hippogriff to be found.
Yeah.
Hey, he's definitely doing that.
Yeah. For all
100%
your searching, there is no hippogriff to be found, unfortunately.
Keep looking up into the air as well. Maybe it's like
Is it coming?
floating. Obviously, it's got wings, but he hasn't put two and two together that it might be flying instead of floating. I'm like looking under rocks and stuff.
For a hippogriff. Do you want to roll an investigation check?
He's got tunnel vision. He's got tunnel vision. He's kind of losing it.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, you can all meet up for some food. one of the captain's lackeys comes and tells you that there's a dormitory that's been set aside for you guys that has clean bedding and stuff within, and would house you all for the evening. So it tells you where that is. But yeah, it's up to you. If there's anything you'd like to do with the evening, speak to anybody whilst you're here, or would you like to take a rest? You are in a safe enough space to be able to take a long rest. And sorry, Fabian, you would come back as well. So if you wanted to grab people that are around and give out any information tonight rather than in the morning, this is your time to do it as well, I suppose.
I'd like to tell Von what's happened. So I relay what Bo said. And I'd also like at this point to kind of, I'm assuming, and Von, tell me if this is the case, that even when I'm telling him the story, he seems distracted by his thoughts of the fact it was all his fault and will never forgive him. Is that true, Von?
That is true.
So I would also like to ask, like, are you okay? Like, what happened to you out there? Because, you know, I'm telling you here, Von, that my best friend is going to be left for dead, and you seem distracted.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We almost all died because of my stupidity.
Why? What did you do?
I got a bit too overambitious in my abilities in hat form, and yeah, as I jumped, I took some damage and became me again, which is what alerted the guards to our presence. Everything was going fine until I fucked it up.
These things happen sometimes. God, GM, it just happens, you know. These you don't control these things. These things are sent to test us, GM. So I wouldn't blame yourself. You know, we all got out of there. We're all okay.
Yeah, it's
Don't blame yourself.
it's never mind. It's just something from the past that it brought up bad memories.
Sorry. At this point, can Zaga approach the mess hall and the Alps?
Yeah, you can rock in.
So as Zaga comes up, hey, why do you two look so fucking miserable? We had a great day. We got on a boat. We stole some stuff from a boat. I saw that total fucker that I'm gonna chase down and murder. You know, it was a good day. We escaped with our lives.
Barely.
Well,
Is
some
Zaga
more
still
badly than
covered in
others, but it's still a good day.
Are you still covered in blood?
No, I'm still red from the disguise kit.
It's a mesh.
I'm not sure you even recognize me. I'm Zaga, by the way. I know you normally see me blue.
No, I think we knew it was you.
Well, I'm gonna get some food. You two cheer up. And he goes off to get food.
Yeah,
I sigh.
He has no idea what Bon Bon did or didn't do because he was invisible in a room at the back of the boat anyway.
Trying keys in the door. Oh, you bastard.
So sorry, Fabian. What was you saying about Meadow?
I can't be bothered to cry. Fabian's crying at this point.
I can't.
Well, she's gonna die, Von, unless we get a diamond mushroom, and Sylvanas thinks that they've done all that they can, and it just doesn't sit right. Apparently she'd seen things, and they seem hesitant to tell me what it is tonight. I have to wait until tomorrow, but they say that that's all they've done unless we go to the Borderlands and find a mushroom. But I don't understand why Sylvanas couldn't have just done that already, the silly bitch. She's got a hippogriff. Big sigh.
Well, tomorrow we head to the Borderlands then.
Well, let's see what Sylvanas says and take it from there. I feel like there must be another facility that's better equipped that maybe she could take her to on said hippogriff, and then Arthur will get to see it as well, which will make him happy. I don't know. There's something they're not telling me, and I need to know that first.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll find out tomorrow.
I nod and I get the weasel out and give him some food.
As I hold back to be like, the weasel's not breathing. God killed the weasel. Don't you forget it. No, the weasel's fine. Just snub it up. Weasel's having a great time at the moment, just sleeping in your pocket, getting fed. If anything, getting a little bit. There's a little podge coming. It's a lot of food in one day for a weasel.
Does he go to the toilet in your pocket as well?
Oh, no, he pops out to do a poop.
She taught him to sit on the edge.
He he does it in the bag of holding.
What?
So do I as well. So enjoy pulling out your loot.
This is like the suit of armor all over again. Nice. Cool. Any more for any more? Are you guys taking rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cold is it?
It's pretty cold. It's a balmy 8 degrees.
I was going to head inside to nap.
Nice.
And he's going to come in sort of looking dejected and sad.
So close. Nice. So you make your way to the one I think you stayed here before, one of the dorms, and pointed out, very easy to find, and there is some nice simple camp beds set up there, fresh linen on the beds. You can get yourself a nice rest in a room, and if you would all like, you can take your long rests. All those hit points coming back. The magic of a rest.
Yes.
Cool. So, with a long rest, and you finding a nice, peaceful sleep after a pretty crazy day, you hear, and you are woken early in the morning. You can hear people moving around outside. You can hear kind of the scuttling of a lot of feet up and down the corridors. A few calls from out in the yards, as there's something happening. Like they're up and working early, the elves on the border control this morning, and it kind of stops you being able to peacefully lying at all. This is a bit like an army regiment. Like there's a clock that these guys work to, but it seems like they are up and going pretty early. As the first of you kind of wake, you can see the sun is just it's past the point of being up that it's actually creating light. So it's probably about an hour after sunrise. So you can see the daylight is there, and these guys are definitely working. Down for breakfast?
I probably would have been up early.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have just got my 4 hours.
4 hours.
Because I say obviously still overthinking everything. Not quite as full sleep as I would have hoped for, but just about get the 4 hours.
I want to get up pretty much bang on after 8 hours long rest, however it is in the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go to the drop-off point to the Thieves Guild of my contacts. And I want to leave a note saying I have some information to sell to you.
Nice. So you want to find like the nearest. Sorry, just to check. One that you went to before, which is a bit more of a trek into town, or
if that's the one near that I know of, then go to
it would be a case of trying to search for one. So there definitely is one, but it's going back towards closer to the Silent Dagger.
Yeah.
Cool. Give me a. What did I make you do for it last time? Because I don't want it to be. It's not necessarily perception. Give me an investigation check for like markings and stuff that you're looking for, rather than it's not general perception.
It's 17.
17, nice. You have to make your. You will have to make your way into. It'd be out of Oldbridge, so you'll be back inside the palisade walls to try and find somewhere. So you heading off? I'm giving you the option. Are you telling people you're heading off this early? Are you disappearing out to leave something and come back?
I'm just disappearing.
Okay. So you disappear out and you make your way into Aldbridge. The south of Redvant is very residential. There's not a lot going on, and a lot of it's very, especially this part by Aldbridge before it starts getting into the midpoint, where all the shops and bits are. It's very like one step up from a shanty town. There's lots of knock together houses very close. You don't see much. As you get just before near where kind of park area was, you notice a small, almost like roadside fruit stall kind of thing. That's selling bits, and you can see on the side of it is one of the thieves' kind of marks. As you kind of make your way around, you notice that there's as part of the wall, there's like a brick that's like half missing, which you know to be one of the kind of like pigeonholes to be used for leaving a note. So, what do you leave?
Just a note to the person I met last time. I can't remember the name if I even got it.
Viper was her name.
Viper, yeah.
Okay.
To Viper, saying that I have some information that she will find useful.
Okay. Cool. So you give me that. Can you give me a not sleight of hand, a stealth check, please, for just keeping yourself aware?
That would be a 13.
13. Okay. Nice. So you leave the note and you kind of walk away. It was like quite high up on your reach, so not your like best job for being super inconspicuous for like slotting a note in. You have to reach up, reach down, reach up again. You come away, but you get as you walk out, you get the feeling that no one picked up like your movements. You feel mildly confident, not your best work, but mildly confident. As you come out past the stall, you can see the hustle of people starting to move in the morning. Like the sun's coming up, a lot of the people are leaving their houses, making their way into the centre of town. There's a lot of work going on, so there's starting to be a bit more rubble, and you can pass into the crowd. You get this feeling that someone is either watching you or someone's clocked you, but you can't. As you walk out, you can't see where they are. Like you're pretty good at picking up faces and people. You're seeing the general rabble, but as you kind of step round the cart. Back onto the main street to make your way south, you just get this feeling, like the back of your hair, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You feel like someone's clocked you.
In that case, I want to try and make some sort of like evasive stealthing moves. Just try and lose.
Cool. Yeah. Give me another stealth check.
Yeah, that'll be a 16.
16. Nice. Cool. So yeah, you make your way kind of into the crowd of people and then duck off one street over, go one street back. Kind of take the not moving suspiciously, but moving quickly as you kind of move your way. Do you check? You're just going to make your way forward. You're not checking back at any point.
I'll probably maybe double back on myself a little bit.
Times.
Trying to.
Cool.
Check once.
So yeah, you do a few of these backwards and forwards. You get close towards the old bridge, and you feel like, okay, this is the point I need to make sure I check. So give me a perception check. As you're like, I'm going out of the town now, so that if they're going to catch me, and they know where I'm going, this is a bad time to be found. So you just want to give yourself an extra check.
18.
18, nice. As you look out, the people move back and forth. Not many people move down towards the old bridge, actually. Like, there's not a lot of trade of people that go kind of south out of the city. The elves kind of keep themselves to themselves. There's not a lot of people that pass backwards and forwards. So as you check out, you're seeing everyone moving around. You don't see anyone that's kind of out watching and clocking you as you're there. You still can't really shake the feeling of like that someone spotted. It's almost like someone spotted you and that sticks with you as a rogue. But no one, as you're looking out, you can see, and you kind of dart off and finish your final move into Aldbridge. Make it back to the mess. Nice. So you make yourself, you make yourself back to the mess or back to the group and wake the rest of them up if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. Corin arrives. Those of you that have been awake for longer, have been awake for longer, you're all awake. And you again, as you come back in as well, Corin, you notice that there's a lot of movement of like the new shifts coming on and moving about. But there's a lot... there seems to be like a lot more people. There's not as much as that first time when the troll was attacking, and it was like shit, everyone's grabbing arms and stuff. But a lot of groups of like smaller squadrons of like moving across the different buildings, and it seems to be like a more hurried manner than is the usual that you've kind of witnessed in your 2 or 3 times being here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're awake. As you you come back waking up. There's time to go and get some grub in the mess hall, or you can head straight out and try and find the captain and kick off this meeting if you'd like. What would you like to do this morning?
Is everybody having breakfast to this, or?
It's up to you.
I can't eat.
I initially looked for the hippogriff. Hadn't seen it by first glance and decided to eat some food.
Is everyone at the same place? Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're all in a dorm room. So yeah, you're all in a dorm room, and the dorm room is so you think like the center is the big mess hall with the meeting rooms and stuff on it, and then these dorms are kind of just plotted around the outside of the big square of the mess hall. So you're literally across the wall to jump in and go and get some food from the big room.
In my case, I just want to say to everyone, look, I've been out and I put a note into that contact I had at the Thistle and Shamrock. I'm going to tell him about this group, because fuck this group. They tried to poison me yesterday, and I ain't having that. No, I'm not going to work for this group again. I want to go back and have this meeting and see if I can get any information if Vex knew about it, or Val knew, what Val did. But he gave me a couple of healing potions, and I took one, and it wasn't a healing potion at all, it was poison. So if you guys don't want to be associated with me for this information, I understand. I will part ways with you guys, but just so you know, I'm gonna sell this information, and of course, you'll all get your cut from it.
Quick question to the group. These magic things we have. Are we supposed to give them to anyone, or? And I kind of start taking stuff out the sack I picked up. Mm-hmm. Like, is this mine now?
So wait. Val gave you.
He gave me a couple of healing potions. Well, he said it was healing potions. And when I took one yesterday, because I was pretty, not feeling too good. I don't know if you saw, but I ended up throwing up.
Yeah.
It was feeling like shit all night. It was definitely poison.
Maybe they had lactose and you're lactose intolerant.
No, I'm not lactose. I like my milk and I like my cheese. No, I'm not lactose intolerant.
And I'm just sat there pointing at this thing I've got out my bag while they're having this serious conversation.
As they're having a serious conversation, you pull out of the bag a ring, a cloak, and a hat.
I put one of them on. I don't care what they do.
Nice.
What do they do? Or do I not know?
So to find out what they do, we'd have to spend some time. Well, you can either just try different things, which is kind of minute, or you can take an hour to kind of work out with it, or you can use an identify spell, which is much quicker. But yeah, if you want to just spend the kind of morning breakfast looking at each of the items, or take one each, kind of look, you can work out what it does.
Okay, I'll do that while everyone's talking about serious things. I'm just going to stare at these things and kind of whip them over my hand.
Ritual spell detect magic.
But detect magic just tells you it's magic. Identify is anything that will tell you what it actually does.
Identify needs 100 gold piece value pearl, though.
It's a multi-use pearl.
Detect can tell you the school of magic as well, can't it?
It can tell you the school and can tell you it is magic. But you already know they are magic because these are the things you picked up.
Okay. Back to the conversation.
Yeah.
So Vex gave me 2 potions and gave
she gave us 2.
Eric. She gave me 2 and gave Eric 2 potions. I had one of the potions which obviously definitely
Well,
wasn't that. So I don't know
I
if
don't
Vex
know
is
if it's
involved in this or not.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it is Vex, but Val, that fucking asshole, definitely gave me this poison.
What if
And
Val
which is,
tried
I want to, if we go and have this meeting, try and get the money that we owed off him for doing the job.
Yes. Okay.
And we're going to see if we'll try and see what. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but get any kind of inclination about.
I've got an idea.
What the Vex knew about.
I've got an idea.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, the way Vex has communicated with me and Faywin before, maybe we can find a way to start a conversation that way.
Well, what do you mean communicated before?
She speaks inside our head, Corin. It's incredibly creepy and quite dangerous. But
What do you mean she speaks inside your head?
exactly that. We don't need to speak out loud. She speaks to us in our head. She can read our thoughts. We have full-blown conversations without even
Like some
uttering
sort
a
of
word.
telepathy? Or
I nod.
can you tell what she's thinking? Or is it just like a one-way thing?
I mean, I don't know if she can tell entirely what we're thinking, but we can have a conversation. I mean, it didn't feel like she was trying to dig deeper when she was talking to me before in my head. So whether she can or not, I don't know, but we can at least try and have a conversation that way.
It's dangerous in case she can dig deeper. But it may be the only way. How do you know, Corin, that Vex wasn't trying to poison Val? You know, we don't know what that group's been up to.
Well,
Maybe they've become a liability.
She might very well have done. You know, this is why I want to go to this meeting, see if we can find out anyhow what intentions were. But I sure as shit know if I was trying to poison me. Well, one of us anyway. It was me who gave it to him. So. Well, just whether Vex knows or not, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I put myself forward to try and communicate with her in that way then, if we go down there.
I'm happy to go down and help, but I need to go and speak to Sylvanas this morning.
Yes, let's hear what Sylvanas has to say first, and then head there afterwards. Is that okay with everyone?
The group is snoring from Zaga's bed.
Aww. Is it like a cute little snore?
No, it's really loud and thunderous.
Incredible.
It almost sounds like he stopped breathing while he snores.
Definitely doesn't. Is that what you've ever been dogs? Yeah, I've got that dream.
His
Like
little arms
thunderous on
and
the
legs.
way in, really squeaking on the way out.
Then there's a fart noise.
Nice. Roll for a stench. Poison damage.
What am I rolling?
D6.
Oh, that's a 6.
That's honestly smells like something's died inside that room you're in. In fact, it's so bad it wakes you up, Zaga. Originally smells
What
like
does that
blood,
smell?
but then it's like
Who killed something?
Is it like when a dog farts and it doesn't realise? It's like, what the fuck's that?
it smells like my food, but also like horrible shit.
Who killed something? God, somebody needs to take a fucking bath. I pull the covers over my head and try to go back to sleep.
Oh, you just hotbox yourself. That's making me feel sick. I'm not even there.
The fumes knock him out.
So we agree on we're going to listen to Sylvanas first, then head to Vex.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you, Corin?
Sure. I mean, the meeting can wait whenever. But...
Okay.
Nice. Oh, shit, on the phone. All right, shut down. Perfect. So you guys, yeah, and as you're kind of finishing up the conversation, you hear a knock on the door. And someone kind of opens and goes, I'm here to... Ooh. You take a breath, kind of look around at you five sat in a really smelly room. It smells like shit. I've been asked to let you know that Sylvanas is here, and the captain and Sylvanas are waiting to debrief you on the situation in the main room. So, I can taste it. He's like,
Thank Thank you.
Okay.
We'll head over.
You hear him go as they leave the room. Smelly bastards.
I've actually got my. I'm actually got the cloak.
Nice.
Cloak? You said it was cloak. The cape
The
right
cape.
to my face right now.
Yeah.
Just to try and mask the smell. This is where we find out it like casts poison on me itself, and I just kill
Blows you
myself.
Cool. So you have been going through the things. Yeah, we'll say there's enough time for it. So you grab the cloak, and as you put it on, the cloak, as you spin it, put it over your face, you can feel it kind of like blows in the wind a little bit. And you're like, oh, this is. I didn't fart like that. Yeah, it wasn't a fart. And yes, you feel like this cloak is one that is there to make someone look powerful, like a cloak of billowing might. So one is the cloak of billowing. The ring, as you're looking and looking on the inside of it, it has on the inside. So the outside is just like a silver ring. On the inside, there's lots of pairs of feet. Not feet, of like shoes, like one way and outside, like almost like a step by step for like some sort of movement. And as you're like kind of playing around with it and you put it on, you feel as the ring goes on, you like, I feel like I could really fucking dance really well with this ring on. It is a ring of dancing which gives you advantage on dancing performance checks, like that one. And the hat, as you pop it on, is and it. Oh, I'm trying to think of a better way of doing it. But yeah, as you put the hat on, you get the feeling that if you wanted to change and hide away, that you maybe could squeeze your appearance slightly and mask who you really were with this wonderful hat of disguise. All wonderful magical items. So Arthur, you've been playing with that whilst the rest of them are having a conversation. Essentially in the background, Arthur's just been changing his appearance slightly without trying to work out what's going on. Cloak of billowing has been wrapped around your face, and the ring of dancing.
Cloak of billowing.
So yeah, hat of disguise, cloak of
for
billowing,
Arthur.
and the ring of dancing. Well, he's got the whole thing. There was one more in there, which someone can. I need a D4 roll to see what it is that comes out. This is the thing that wasn't the bag. This was the other thing, so it was for a slightly higher roll.
Oh, so that was all the stuff that was in
That was all the
the
stuff
bag of holding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I've wrote Arthur's name. Yes. No. Well, if you put it in the
It
bag,
wasn't the bag of holding. This is the stuff that Arthur had.
Yeah, Arthur grabbed the bag, and then I think you put the thing you grabbed in Arthur's bag. So the bag that Arthur grabbed had those three things in it: ring of dancing, a cloak of billowing, and a hat of disguise. I need a D4 for the other thing.
Ring of dancing. Oh, that's not in the list.
I don't think it even exists. I need to add it. But it gives you advantage.
Yeah, it's absolutely as useless as the cloak of billowing.
No, it's not.
Ring of dancing, advantage on performance checks for dancing. That could really come in handy.
He is your backup.
I mean, Arthur's going to be the backup dancer, right?
And no, I was going to be the main dancer.
Yeah, do you want to give me a D4, Hayward?
That is a 3.
A 3. You, I suppose it's whether Arthur throws over the last thing that you threw into the bag.
I'll throw over the last thing. I'm happy with my cloak of billowing. The hat of disguise, I still haven't realised that it's changing my appearance. And the ring of dancing, once again, I probably won't work out until I dance later.
Perfect. So you, throw over to him a small box. And as you flick open the box, there is another of the ring within there, and around the outside of this ring is kind of a load of water droplets on there. You can spend some time to work out what it is, but that is a ring of water walking. That does exist.
Cool. Where was that when I was drowning?
Well, it was,
I was going to say the same thing.
On the boat, funny enough. CS. All of these, yes, you... as you're going through, realise are performance magical items, stuff that have come from Oswell's kind of cave of magical items that help with his performers. Some of the performers might be a little bit out of luck if they've lost their ability to walk on water or dance.
+0 to charisma probably isn't going to help with these performance checks, is it?
Well, an advantage. It's quite good. You get to roll it twice.
We'll roll with it.
Nice. So you got all those, and yeah, you've been asked to go over and see Captain Thalor and Sylvanus. They are awaiting you this morning.
Yeah, I'll go over there.
Nice. Cool. You make your way through the mess hall, and you can see they're in the same. So on the kind of right hand side, you come from the left hand side. On the right hand side of the mess hall is those offices that were there before, big windowed ones, and you can see Sylvanus and Captain Thalor in there with the big map that's across the kind of border forest. It's kind of mapping out between Eden and the west side of the border forest. They're kind of their area of control up to the river that kind of splits the continent down the middle. And as you guys make your way into the thing, Captain Thalor kind of notices you across the mess hall, puts a hand up to kind of beckon you over to the room. Are we all going in? I'm assuming yes, but if you would like to not go in,
No.
you fuckers.
I will go in.
Cool. I need to know if some of you aren't going in, who is going in. The Elps.
Me.
I'll stay outside as I go.
I'll stay outside as well.
Nice. The Elps.
I haven't got out of bed yet.
You staying in bed?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Can't wait for you to die in bed. Nice. Zaga's in bed.
Kills himself with his own farts.
Yeah, I'm going to make you roll checks. You passed
Hippogriff
that.
should be here now, though.
Hippogriff is outside. Or is
What?
it? Cool.
Like a billowing.
So the elves, you make your way inside. The rest of you can get yourself breakfast and sit on your fingers. As Sylvanus and Thalor kind of welcome you in, kind of leave the door open, look to you for the rest of your pie, and close the door behind, noticing that they're not coming in. And Sylvanus, kind of Thalor stands to the side and lets Sylvanus kind of pick up the reins. She's like, I was told that you made your way in last night, which is good because I was going to give you the call this morning, Von Van, on the Sending Stone. So all things have worked out here. Have you rested well this evening? You've keeping yourself out of trouble? Any more ventures into the border forest?
We haven't been back into the forest yet, but no, it's not for now.
Captain Thalor tells me that you spent some time with Bo last night. He'll be joining us shortly, and I've seen Meadow's condition, which is good. She has been improving, but yes, whatever is affliction has been taking the forest is more dangerous than we had first imagined. We have a slight problem with the forest. The death bloom that we believed that was somewhere within the forest is growing at quite an alarming rate. We are, and this is information that does not leave this room for now, looking to pull our border forces back to Eden to ensure that the capital remains safe. There is no point leaving a force here at Redvant just for the sake of protecting the forest. Smugglers, when there is something as deadly as the bloom out there, it has been spreading. We've been trying to keep track of its progress, but it seems to be devouring everything in its path as it spreads, both east towards Eden and west across the border forest. It is unknown really what is causing the bloom to react so aggressively, but the information we've been getting from Meadow tells us that there is something at work within the forest. At this time, kind of you see Bo scuttling down and kind of drops in, closes the door quietly behind, and she's like, "Oh, Bo, thank you for joining us." Bo has been spending time with Meadow, and she has been telling us that whilst under the control of the forest, and even to a lesser extent in some of her dreams while she's been here, that the trees and the vines of the trees were talking to her, were willing her to protect. That was the overall message that she was being given, that something was attacking and that the forest should protect itself. We're unsure what is exactly affecting the forest, but it seems to be defending itself in an aggressive manner, whereby it is essentially killing a lot in its path to protect itself from something. She has said that she's seen what she's described as a large stag's head, which is the voice that was communicating with her while she was attached to the trees, attached to the vines in which you found her on that day in the forest. We cannot seem to cure the affliction that's taken Meadow. Her dreams still seem to be filled with this beast, this great beast, talking to her about protecting a forest. She doesn't rest unless we are sedating her, and all of our resources have been used to try and cure this affliction to no avail. So we will be need to make a decision on Meadow's fate, whether to let her continue as she is now under constant watch, or to take her back with us to Eden to pass with her home people. The reason we wanted to bring you in to kind of want to let you know of Meadow's fate, but also to give you the warning that the border control will be removed from Redvant within the next couple of days. It will take us time to amass and pack up everything that we need to, but we do believe that something, whatever is within the forest, is not likely to stay contained to the forest for much longer. There are increasing reports of animals leaving the forest, terrorising both north and south of the forest. And like I say, our number one priority now is to bring all available forces back to Eden to protect the capital city. This, like I say, you can see is information that we are just passing out to the recruits and the ranks now to start the work to pack up what we can and bring back with us what we can into the border forest. But this is not something that we want to publicise further than the border force for now. And I think she at this point, is there anything that you require further clarification on? She kind of looks at you both.
Can you say that out of character? You said that in dreams she sees a giant stag head. Is there a check that I can do to recall any lore of if that means something? Like,
yeah,
you know when you Google your dreams after you've had them.
Yeah.
To see what it
means. Your choice. You can go history for like stories, or nature for some sort of like entity or beast.
Yeah. I'll go nature.
Nature.
11.
Giant stag's head. No, nothing with an 11 rings any bells.
Okay.
But the way, she'll do, if you want to like kind of probe to get some more information. The way that Meadow has described it is that's the closest thing she can see to it. It's more. It's not just. It's like multi-antlered, dark silhouette behind a kind of in front of like a white light. There's no features that you can see. Just this kind of ethereal giant head that is communicating to her via some means, but that's the picture that she gets when she sees it. It's this giant head. It's not like it's attached to anything and it's up talking to it. It's this like this imaginative thing that's popped into her head, and that's she just has constantly described that was what was talking to her, and it was communicating when she was attached to the trees and through there. But that was the kind of form that it took in her mind.
Okay, so then I want to say to Sylvanas,
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that, you've used a lot of resources to keep Meadow alive, but and I know now that you're saying that you're taking the border force out because it's not safe for them, but surely Meadow has been, you know, she put herself on the line to do her job for the forest, and to withdrawal treatment, you know, she's showing that she's valuable even for information, even if it's just whilst you try and figure out what's doing this to the forest, because at some point, you know, you're going to have to figure out what's going on there. You can't just leave it forever. So surely it would be beneficial just to try and keep treating her until we know more.
I understand.
There must be something else that you can do. And I throw a look to Bo.
Bo is kind of like looking down as much as he can in a lot of these things. And Sylvanas she kind of pauses on your point for a second, and then she comes back. I understand Meadow was your friend, a good friend. We will endeavour to try and keep treating Meadow until the last point, and to take her back to Eden, where she will have the best chance of peacefully passing out. But there is nothing our resources can handle at the moment, and with the forest in the state that it is in with this attack, we cannot safely scout to find the resources we need just to keep the basics going. So I understand your point. We will keep her and treat her as long as we can, and if we can move her, we will try to move her from the border control back to Eden itself. But this death balloon is bigger than the problems of a lot of elves right now. We have the home city to look after.
What about the rest of the villages and cities across the forest?
Across the forest?
Do these people know of this? If it's expanding at the rate you're saying?
We have cancelled. I've come back from Eden just this morning. After talking to the council, they will send some envoy to Allhearth to let them know that that something within the forest is spreading. But our protection of the forest includes ourselves first, so we will be pulling back to the main cities as much as we can to try and protect what we can of our own people in the forest, because if the forest falls, then everyone else will go. But what Allhearth and the oh Jesus Christ, I forgot what the fucking thing's called. Kins, what's the thing called at Allhearth?
The Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, good for remembering. I forgot.
It was that on the council.
Yeah, it was definitely. I said council already. I was like, it's not. What the Commonwealth decide to do with this information is up to the Commonwealth, and they run the matters in Honora. It's for them to deal with.
My father works for the Commonwealth. My family are part of that Commonwealth. Are you aware of that? I flick my elbow.
I am not, but they will make the decision. Like we say, an envoy will be sent to Allhearth to advise them of our plan to pull back the border control to Eden, that we will be pulling back some of our watchtowers to Eden, and that there is something that we are investigating within the border forest that seems to be attacking the forest at its core, but that we cannot take responsibility for the rest of the towns that border the forest. Could
you include a note to my father to let him know that of what happened to Meadow?
Oh, I will not be sending. The envoy will come from Eden itself. If you are to send a message, I would recommend finding a courier to send from here. The message will come from the Council of Eden itself. Can we not send it on your hippogriff? You want to send the hippogriff isn't a postal service, unfortunately. But I think you'll appreciate, Sylvanas, this is very important. The situation in totality is incredibly important, which is why the envoy will be going to Allhearth for their decision. Just tell my dad. Tell my dad what's going on.
Tell my dad he'll fix it. He owns all her.
He owns all her. Yeah. So, and that's kind of the dump. So Sylvanas, lets you know that the captain has been instructed to start packing up. That they have probably a couple of days before they're ready to move, but they plan on just pulling out of Redvant, out of Oldbridge, kind of silently, and they're making their way back to Eden to protect. And you can see as this conversation is going on, and you, Bo feels the looks that you give him when he sits there, but he doesn't speak up in this meeting.
Little bitch, Bo.
Wow.
Um, Can I check, like, how does sending post and stuff work? Because obviously Corin's got his secret society thing.
Yep.
If I wanted to send like a little postcard to me dad,
Yeah.
is that a thing?
You'd have to, there'll be couriers. You'd have to like pay a courier to the travel. Like the further they're going, the more expensive it will be.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sounds bloody absolutely.
because there's not like a post service, unfortunately. But yeah, you could find a courier, and then they'll charge you in a rate based on how far they've got to travel and how dangerous they think it is to get there.
Okay, so before the conversation ends, I'd like to say to Sylvanas, is there really nothing else that you know of that could help Meadow? Any, I don't know, potions or spells or anything that you know of that could help her?
That we have access to? No. If you...
But even those that you don't have access to, maybe you don't have the materials or the supplies, and I'm staring at Bo.
At this point, she looks across the bow and kind of like tries to step back behind Captain Thallow as much as possible as they're like stood in a line. There are people with more power than that we supply. We are mainly we mainly live off the land. We are not known for our magical prowess. I would recommend that you try to find a druid of the Earthen Sect. Let me check.
Which Bo is?
Oh wait, where?
Do I know that Bo is that?
No, you wouldn't. Well,
I do.
It's
the last meeting with Sylvanas, she mentioned that Bo was.
Yeah. Sorry, Earthen Grove. A sect of the Earthen Grove. Yeah, so you seek out a druid from the sect of the Earthen Grove. That they have a much greater connection with the land and the healing powers of the land. But your best
so
bet
at that
is to find
point,
someone.
I want to look at Von, my druid pal.
Yep.
And ask him, do you know any, Von here, he's a druid. Von, do you know of anyone who would know who is a druid, earthy boy? Whatever else.
I don't know any personally myself, but my mentor will know.
Yeah, if you were able to find some, but like I say, we will be packing up from here and moving within a few days. But the envoy will be sent to the druids as well, and those of the Earthen Sect as the primary authority on these sort of matters.
At this point, I'm tapping my beautiful boot on the floor impatiently. Still looking at Bo, waiting for him to say something, and realizing that he's not going to because he's a little bitch.
Gives you a way
and so I say to him, "Hey Bo, you've been treating Meadow all of this time. Do you know of anybody, any spells, any druids that would be able to assist with any medication, or even if it's not supplies that you have, but something that maybe you or someone you know thinks might help?"
Bo looks at you and looks kind of at Sylvanas, and as he goes to open his mouth, Sylvanas cuts in and says, "I understand you may have spoken to Bo already about the option of seeking out the diamond mushroom. This is not something to be taken lightly. This is not a resource to be bought from a shop. This is a fairy tale, a myth of of a resource that we have not seen for many years now, and definitely with the state of the border forest, we cannot give out resources to try and hunt down the caves in which it is cultivated. There are beasts that primary job are to cultivate these things, and they keep themselves incredibly hidden within the border forest to stop the likes of us over harvesting the humans coming in and taking the loggers coming and finding their camps. If this is, and she kind of looks back at Bo, it's like, fuck, this is not something we can endeavour to take on. Of course, you are willing to do whatever you need to do. Our primary responsibility is to Eden and to get the border forest and the elves of the border forest into safe hiding.
Surely, Sylvanas, if this mushroom can help Meadow, then surely it can help in the fight against this.
Meadow has the most information that you have on what happened. She lived it. She nearly died out there. And you don't want to give her a mushroom to try and make it better, to get the information that would help.
It is not merely giving her a mushroom, it is the sourcing there. And she looks back at Bo. She's like, how much have you told them? And he kind of looks back. She's like, this mushroom is not just a mushroom that is found under a log in the tree. This mushroom is cultivated by the Maconid. They are ancient species of plant and fungi that live within the forest. They live deep within the cave system of the border forest, and we have no idea whether they have been affected or not by what is happening within the bloom. They could well be the cause of the death bloom. They are protectors. We cannot at this time spend resource for one mushroom that will help restore. We need to look at the bigger picture. The diamond mushroom is a very powerful resource for restoration, for aid, but it's not something that we can attack with. It's not something that's going to push back or heal the forest in the way that we believe it needs to. We need to understand what is causing the forest to attack. Bo can...
But at the moment, it doesn't seem like there's any pushing back at all. It's just retreating to the capital and leaving the rest of the forest to just, die? These small villages, no, they can't defend themselves against this.
That may well be the case, but that is for the Commonwealth to decide. And the business of Honora is for the Commonwealth. We are in charge with the border forest. Our job is to keep the border forest and keep the borders in place. If that means bringing back and defending, that is what the council has decided to do. This is the strongest point, is to retreat to Eden and to plan out from there, picking off the bloom in small. The rate at which it is growing within the forest is alarming. This is the strongest case that has been decided by the council for the elves of the Sylvan Dark. Bo can give you the information if you would like to hunt out and go within the forest, but I warn you that the forest is incredibly unpredictable.
Give me the information, Bo.
Kind of nods. He doesn't have it on him now.
Do you know if this is going to cross the river as well, Sylvanas?
We believe that there's nothing necessarily stopping it crossing the river. The river itself is not a natural barrier, but we are trying to get information back from the West Coast elves to see what they are dealing with their side, to see if they've seen it come that far yet. But as yet, we have not heard similar reports. But the rate at which this is growing, there is, who's to say? So please treat this information with the care that it requires. We will be, exiting the border control at Oldbridge within hopefully 2 days. And yes, if you are to seek out, I recommend trying to get in contact with the druids of the Earthen Sect, or if you want to get away, get as far away from the forest for now as possible. But the threat is real.
Please just try and keep her alive with whatever you have, whatever you've been doing that's been keeping her alive. Please just keep doing that. But I will give me the information, and I will get that mushroom.
Yeah, both as you said, like that bit. Both everyone says, "Don't worry, I will do all I can." Sylvanas kind of gives you like a nod. Thanks you. She's like,
I don't nod back.
I'll be returning to Eden now. Thank you for your help and your help of Captain Thalor. You have been a friend to the Wood Elves, and your work has been passed on to the Council von Van, and it has been noted. Good luck. And then she kind of nods to Captain Thalor, and Sylvanas leaves. Thalor kind of steps behind, and Bo stays behind. And he's like, yeah, so you can see the problems. He, as you guys, as they all leave, he kind of checks they're gone. He kind of comes over to where the map side is and starts pulling some bits out. Kind of gets out a closer section of the map of the area, the kind of area between. I've got one here. The area between Redvant and we got a top-down view somewhere here. Nice.
Ooh, that's a nice print.
That's a lovely little print. Cool. So he gets out.
That is very pretty.
That's the
That
one
was-
I've used.
Wait, hold on.
This is the same one.
Is that the same as the one on the wall?
Yeah, same as one on the wall. So he gives you out a closer print of where you are here. So this is the borderlands that run between Allhearth, kind of inside the rivers. Eden is here where they're retreating back to, and Redvant's here. He gets you out a map that's kind of a closer area of here. And whilst there's like some markings on the borderlands area, there's no distinct marking of any settlements, bar one, which he states is your best hope, which is to head west out of Redvant and close to where the kind of river splits into the forest, and the one that runs round into kind of Oldbridge and Redvant and then out into the sea. Round here, they believe there's a sanctuary there that is called the River Haven, which is run by the Thorn family. And again, these are called families, but they're not all actually brothers and sisters. But the Thorn family, they have a sanctuary there. There's believed to be some sort of temple or some ritualistic structure there that they know they can pinpoint that on the map, and they know that they then have settlements within here. But your best bet is to, if you want to find it, is to head there to try and find the Thorns and ask them if they can help. And he's like, I know that's not good information, but he said you need to get hold of someone that knows the borderlands. If you can get in with the families there, and if you can find your way to the one structure they know about, you've got a chance of finding them and going from there. They should be able to help you find your way to there. And then he explains a bit more in detail that yes, that the diamond mushroom is kind of cultivated by the Myconid, like the mushroom people, and that within the forest there are some caverns and caves, and they are within the forest, but none of them really know exactly and can pinpoint where they are. They have lots of, a bit like rabbits with burrows. They have different entrances and they shut off different entrances. They work at one with the forest to kind of, one, protect it. They look after the growth of what's going on, and also they kind of keep themselves hidden away. So you're going to need to find someone that can get you to them, and they hopefully will have a diamond mushroom. And then you need to get back to him.
But Bo wouldn't know. Like, Bo wouldn't be in with them despite being a...
No. He's a druid of the Earthen Sect, but... So the druids, the way they're like kind of set out, there's like the philosophers and the studiers. There's those that are like within organizations. So like he has some training, but isn't like a field agent. And a bit like actually Von is like kind of one of the before the philosophers become all world knowledgeably. That's not a word. They like sent out on kind of like walkabouts. So they're sent out to go and live in the world and go and find out what's going on and to research stuff and learn out in the field. You'd be looking for someone that's more like that. Bo is part of the Druid sect, but more like a preacher or practitioner of healing within the Sylvan Dark. He's not a roaming or more powerful Druid. He's less powerful than Von.
Vaughn, I'm guessing that you're not like a big mushroom man.
I am not a big mushroom man.
That's a shame. Okay, while Bo is explaining it, I want to draw a sketch of the map.
He gives you the map.
All right, sick.
So he marks up. Yeah, he marks up where he's going. But he's like, and he kind of apologizes. He's like, your best bet is get to Riverhaven, find the Thorns, and be friendly. They should be able to help you or point you in the right direction to get you into the Borderlands further and closer to those that live. And he thinks the Thorns live closer to the woodland, so they're the ones that can have the best chance of getting in. I'm pretty sure the Thorns. Yeah, we'll come. Well, I don't give you more information that you don't know, but yeah, they each have like a.
Working by.
Well, if you can get the diamond mushroom, and I can perform the ritualistic spell, then I don't know. What do you want? A percent? A coin? 50, 60%? I know this is the best of the aid that we could provide. I cannot do it without it. Just is within my grasp. If you could find someone of the Evans sect that was more powerful than I am, that would definitely boost the ratings. But I'm afraid we might have to work with what we've got right now. If you can get the mushroom back to me, I feel confident enough in my abilities that I can at least perform the ritual.
And how long does she have?
If she is being maintained as she is now, she has time. She definitely has time. We're hoping that the sedatives keep her calm and the dreams don't torment her anymore, but we can't seem to remove the affliction in totality. So we have some time. My bigger and as you can see, worry and risk is that we are packing up here. This is no longer a stable encampment, and what happens when we are trying to get ourselves back to Eden as a party when we have those that can't look after themselves. I don't want to say that anything would happen to her at that point, but I worry with what's going on and the tone that's been set that this is a quick retreat for us. We've never seen anything like this before. The border control has never been removed from the edges of the forest before.
I understand.
So yeah, he gives you the map, gives you the information as best he can, kind of apologises and says, yeah, they plan on being kicked out of here in a couple of days. He can try and hang on as long as possible, and he will hang on as long as possible. I did forget to say as well, as Sylvanas leaves, she gives you the other sending stone, Von.
I've got both of them now.
So you got both of them now, yeah. Sorry, I forgot that bit.
So you can speak to yourself.
He can speak to himself. But yeah, so you have two. So the sending stones are connected. So she kind of noticing like the kind of it didn't end in the nicest way, right? The conversation, but she gives that to you. Says, I think
she's a bitch.
You can probably use this. You have a use for this more than she does right now. So you have the sending stone. So essentially, you can give this stone to someone else, and between you can talk. Obviously, you can use that within your pie as well. But yeah, the sending stones. I think they have a pretty decent range, like very, very, very far. So yeah, it's a stone you're talking to, like a walkie-talkie, and the other end.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about distance.
No, I think I looked before. I think they are like almost infinite.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Nice.
What about if you go through a tunnel?
Still work. As long as you got a pair. So you and those that are outside, if you were
Oh yeah,
in
there you go.
mess hall-
Yeah, you can send a message across any distance and even to other planes of existence.
Yeah.
But if they're in a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance that the message doesn't.
Yeah.
Still 95% chance for another plane. That's not bad.
That's pretty good. They're pretty good. Pretty good little stones. Nice. So yeah, those that were in the mess hall see Sylvanus and the captain leave and see the Alps in with Bo finishing up. Was there anyone that was either going to get out of bed or wanting to do anything in the morning? Or whilst this was happening?
Zaga got out of bed during the meeting. He's actually outside entertaining another group of young, impressionable Alps with the fantastical tale of how he single-handedly raided a ship and defeated a gnome and his mechanical birds while all of his compatriots were knocked out and downed.
Admitting to the crimes. I like it. You find that they are not that interested in that they are... You see that there's a lot of movement around. So as you're trying to like pin a few of them down for long enough, your best bet is actually to catch them more in the mess hall when they're like taking a break and sitting down, rather than when they're out. A lot of them are shooting backwards and forwards or starting to pack stuff down. So you're almost either, if you're outside, you're catching them as they're mid-work as you're trying to explain this.
Zaga will head to the mess hall to find an audience.
They'll be more likely to be sat down and sat still. As you're trying to catch them in the streets, they're just like, I've got a job to do. I can't be.
I'm gonna want to stand on the table and do this performance.
Cool. So yeah, you as you come out, Zaga's on the table recounting the story, admitting to all the crimes to these elves, which is wonderful. That's never gone wrong before. We should note. Never once has admitting to the crimes you've done the night before ever come back to bite you in the ass. Corin and Arta, anything you would have been doing in that 5-10 minutes of chit chat that the guys were having whilst you were waiting?
Probably just standing around billowing my cape.
Nice. Yeah.
That's about it, really.
Tease the hippogriff with it.
Yeah, it would have been there. It's gone now, though. Corin?
I think he's had to step
see,
away for
on
a
the
second. Would this be a good time for a piss break?
It would be, I was going to say, it's a good time for a break as you all would reconvene in the mess hall post that meeting. We shall have a pee break and then come back to see what you want to do, where you want to go.
Right,
we're back. Everyone back.
Are there any libraries in the Alp camp, by chance?
No library. No, because this is like a border force. It's more like an army camp than it is anything else. Your best bet of library is going to be like the bigger cities.
Redvant?
Redvant quite small.
It's quite small, but also it doesn't really, because it's not really it's a shanty town that's grown too big, and it's governed, as much as you guys know, by this like mysterious tiefling coven.
Right.
So it doesn't really conform to, like, there's no druid cathedrals here, and therefore there's no like learning, and a lot of the learning would come through the druids. So a lot of the things are like libraries and places of learning, and there's not really any in this age, not really any wizard, what they called mage guilds.
We're in the second age now.
Yeah, we're in the like pagan nature phase. The wizards will come with time. So yeah, Redvant's a bit of a like shanty town, built up too big, doesn't really apply. Like Allherv's very different to Redvant. It's way more structured, and it has the cathedrals, and it has the druid sects, and it has the learning schools, and it has the Commonwealth and the council. And Redvant's just a bit of a lawless society. And your dad,
yeah,
who, according to you, apparently runs things.
Yeah, very proud man.
He's definitely a receptionist.
He also owns Riot Games, but
that's besides the point. Nice. So yeah, as we're back, so Zaga is trying to entertain in the room. You have seen the end of this conversation. Bo has kind of given you all the information and wished you well and luck, and told you that he will hold out here as long as he can. And then he kind of gives you a nod, scuttles off back to work, and then you are assume all within the mess hall, if not in slightly different parts of the mess hall, with cloaks billowing, stories recanting, and the two Alps with some information. So I'll let you meet up. Let's say you all come together, just for ease.
So, going back to my earlier question, because there was something serious, yada yada yada. Are we supposed to be keeping these things? And I stand up and my cape billows. Or do we need to give them to someone? Our job was to distract/help. Does that mean, finders keepers rules apply here? Just asking for a friend.
You look great, Arthur.
I'm pretty sure the job was to steal the magic shit and bring it back to Vex and them, but
I thought the other group was stealing stuff.
We was tasked with finding any additional magical items, right? So
That's a good thing I've always had this cape.
yeah, exactly.
Hide them from her.
Fuck those guys.
So are we finally selling the info on them?
Well, already done, Zaga. That's what I made up with them.
Already done. What's my percentage?
We all got an equal cut. Don't know how much it's gonna be yet, but we'll all get the equal share.
I got this letter while we were on the boat. Seems the coven are paying for all of this shit down in Hot Springs. They're building a casino and they're gonna pay Oswells to turn up and be a feature attraction.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Make me come up with that.
It doesn't say anything about a spa though.
Fucking spas, man. You would piece together, Burn, that and Von. I think you've done some investigation on the coven as well, right? That that this coven are like weird in that everyone knows that they're tieflings, at least because Redvant's run by the tieflings, but they have their fingers in all the pies. So that the guys you were working with were trying to fight against the coven, so you've stolen from him, but also the Thieves Guild that you went to see, Burn, that they have some connection to the coven as well.
Yeah.
So there's dots, there's lines, there's crazy Charlie Day map lines of everything just lining up with different things. But yeah, that okay, this is all, they're all linked to the coven somehow.
So, Corin, you said the coven were linked to the Thieves Guild, right?
That's the impression I got from when I was speaking to her, yeah.
And they are on the same side as Oswell, who we've just robbed these magical items from.
That's on a boat. That
well,
was next to his crew.
They don't know that it was us. Let's just say it that way. But I'm sure if it's, we give over this information, I'm sure things can be smoothed over in that regard,
I mean, I don't have the ones for smoothing.
But, we give them information on these people trying to move on their turf. But that's valuable information, I'm sure we can make things right there. And maybe we could, if you wanted to stay in Redvant, maybe we could work for them if people wanted to, of course.
I mean, I thought we were, are we? I feel like our elf friend here might need a hand helping their elf friend, sorry.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm happy to help the elves anyway. But
I feel like we owe them, maybe, for looking after us.
But selling this information costs fuck Vax, and I'm not for the.
They're like parents I never had.
Fucking hell.
But what, Van and Faywin, they're like your parents you never had?
Yeah. Well, I assume so. They're telling me not to do things. They're trying to make me, be responsible.
I mean, how old are you, Arthur?
What? And I
How
turned to
old are
Zaga,
you?
what did he say?
Your age, Arthur. How old are you? How many birthdays have you had?
Let's have a look.
He clearly doesn't want to answer this question, so let's just get going. Come on. We need to find out what's going on.
You don't know your age? That's fine.
I'm wise, but I'm beyond my years, is what I'll say.
Well, that's fine. I mean,
And there's not that many years, and that's not that many wise.
Wait, are you wise beyond your years, or wise but beyond your years?
or are your years beyond your wise?
I don't understand the question. So,
yes.
It's just the way you're referring to Von and Veyron as your parents. I just wondered if you're
anyway,
they're like responsible and stuff, aren't they?
So in Elvish, I turn to Von. Jesus, I turn to Von, and in Elvish, I say, they're gonna keep Meadow safe, right? But they said in that room that we can't tell the others what's going on with the border forest. I feel like I need to process the information and work out the best way of finding that mushroom. Maybe we could go along with Corin and the guys, let them deal with all of that fallout, and in the meantime I'll write to my father in Allhurst, and maybe if we find somewhere that I can read. Huh?
Let me retcon. It was more they didn't want it shared kind of wider than the border control. Yeah.
Oh, I had assumed you told us. Oh, group. That's what I said about your friends. Yeah.
So your group, they're quite. It wasn't just like we only want to tell the elves. It's like you as a group have helped them out, so they're giving you the knowledge. They're kind of saying don't go around telling everyone in Redvant that we're opening the borders, or like don't go and tell anyone else that the borders are now open and all the elves are fucked off because we don't know what's going on. We're gonna let the Commonwealth deal with it. So like don't run around with trumpets in the street, but between the five of you, it's quite fine.
Everyone loot, they're opening the borders.
Oh my god, there's no one on the borders! Run into the forest!
I cast on the Toji.
Yeah.
Maybe Zaga can make a song about it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so sorry, it was more, it wasn't that you couldn't share it within yourself. They're quite happy we like to share it within your party. Because you were all invited to that meeting, right? It was more that they're pulling back the border force at the border control. They don't want that necessarily at the moment, just broadcast wider because they don't know what the implications are. Again, really, if you broadcast the borders are open and everyone tries to rush into the borders and there's a death bloom in there that's going to murder everyone, that's also bad. So it's more like this is the information.
We have made a lot of enemies. We could just tell our enemies.
We'll meet you in the border forest. I'm like,
that's the
end of the
Catch me outside. How about that?
Essentially, I want to just bin off Meadow for a bit.
I mean, I've got some poison.
Well, no, I don't mean fully bin her off. I just mean like go and see whoever we're going to see anyway. While I write.
You really want to bin her off, Corin the leader.
Funnily enough, it wasn't in character with Faywin saying she's going to bin off her best mate.
Yeah.
Okay, so then in Elvish, then scrap what I said. I'm going to write to my father, and I'm going to let him know what's happening down here. Maybe he's able to sway. Even perhaps they know people in these smaller communities that may be able to help with. I don't know. They might know someone who has a diamond mushroom, or be able to give us a better map than this that Bo's given us. And he did say that he'll keep her stable. So while I write this, maybe we head over to help to speak to whoever.
Yes, yeah. Speak with X, we'll speak with whoever else, but I would say that it might be a good idea to try and at least get some information before they move back down to Aiden.
Yeah, I agree.
While these two speak in Elvish, Corin is sort of eyeing them both suspiciously. It's like, why are they talking about? Why are they not speaking?
Why they're not?
What has Faywin got to hide?
Oh, here we go. When I speak in Elvish, I speak really quickly as well. So super quick Elvish.
Nice.
Can we have a demonstration?
And no,
Fuck you. You wouldn't understand anyway. Nice. So, what's your plan? Where are you going? What
Going to see Rex. I think. Is that what our plan is now?
Mm-hmm. That's something I'd like to do, yes.
Wait, why are we going back to...
Specifically with the other group there, so we can find out all this shitstorm that's gone down.
when did you tell
they
Zagra and
outside?
Arthur what happened to you?
Well, I mean, I told you all when Zaga was asleep, I guess. Fuck, that asshole Val poisoned me with that supposed healing potion. It wasn't a healing potion.
Van Thorn's such a charming elf. Surely he can talk on our behalf again.
I'm quite happy for Van to do the talking. I just want to be in a room so I can get a gauge on body language and such forth.
But they said they can read minds and stuff, and my head still hurts when I think about it.
Don't worry, Arthur. You can stay out.
Yes! And my cape billows behind me.
Success.
You have permission. You have permission to not enter the. Zaga, what are you going to do? Are you going to come with us or not?
I might stay with Arthur.
Okay.
Well, you two can do some sort of performance, you know.
What are we going back there for? Just to find out if they poisoned Karen on purpose?
Well, this should perk your ears up there, Zaga. They owe some money for that job there.
Oh, we're gonna get paid?
Well,
yeah.
I fucking hope so.
Okay, no, I'm coming with you. I want my money.
There we go. I thought that would work.
I don't want them to take my cape. I'm staying. I'm staying behind.
But I mean,
I trust you. I trust you, Van Von.
I also pass my ring of water walking to Arthur. It's like, keep hold of this as well.
You'll never see that again.
I might lose it, to be fair. I'm very clumsy. I'm going to put it in my bag. I'm not going to wear it because it might fall off. Because I've got funny shaped fingers.
Maybe Zaga could find that useful chasing ducks.
Wait,
No
what does it do?
Never you mind, Zaga. Let's go get our money.
Leave the ducks alone. Leave the ducks alone. So you want to make your way into Redvant? To the Silent Dagger?
Yeah.
While we walk, I want to ready an action. If I see a weasel pop out of a pocket, I want to be ready to jump and grab it.
I would also like to ready an action. If Zaga comes near me, I'd like to swipe.
Oh dear. Cool. So you can both do that. That's fine. As you are, so how you walk me through it? You just walking through the streets? You just rocking up to the Silent Dagger? Is there anything you'd like to do in prep? What is the plan here?
I would like to send a letter via courier, please. Could I find a courier, please?
You can give me a perception check.
Make sure it's a truck delivery too.
Sign for
13.
13. So yeah, as you're scouting around and looking, you on the way up. You won't on the way up. We'll save it because there won't be any towards, because you're coming from the south through the kind of residential area. If you're going to find any of them, it's going to be in the kind of business, not the business, the shopping district. You know where like the magic shop was and the blacksmiths and stuff like that around there. Silent Dagger is further to the south, so you have to go past it to try and find some. But with a 13, you've got your eye on the lookout for some in the right area. They're not just going to have couriers wandering the street, but yeah, you wouldn't quite be close enough to it. Cool. So yeah, you're just wandering through. You're just walking from Old Bridge up to Silent Dagger.
I mean, we could skip.
Let's go. So if you're dying, oh god. Cool. So you make your way through. It's still early-ish in the morning. There's people. Most people have started at workplaces they would have worked at, but there's a hustle of people from the residential area on the south part of the city as they're making their way. As you make your way up through to the south part of where the beer port joins up with the mainland, towards the Silent Dagger. As you approach the side dagger, from like a decent distance away, you notice as you're getting close to it that there's no light coming from the inside. It's not like an overly bright inside of a pub, a bit dank. You can see from the windows that look pretty dark from the inside, and the front door is closed as you are approaching it.
Hey, does anyone else get the impression something's wrong?
I mean, it doesn't look open, but we can still find a way in.
Yep. Who wants to go up and try? The door's just closed. It doesn't. From where you're looking at, you don't get the feeling that this is as open and welcome as it maybe has been before. It's always quite quiet, and it's still early in the morning. But yeah,
I will go and try the door.
Cool. You get eaten by the door. No. Just go up to try the door, move the handle. Yeah, it's locked from the sides. It doesn't open at first push.
I bang loudly on the door.
Nice. So yeah, bang on the door. Wait. Don't hear anything from the inside.
I use my thieves' tools on the lock.
Nice. Give me a. What the hell is any thieves' tools? Sleight of hand. Yeah. Sleight of hand check, please.
23.
23. Nice. You feel about what are the rest of you doing whilst Corin has just walked up and started lockpicking the door of a pub?
I'm looking behind us to see if anyone's watching.
Cool. Give me a perception check.
Watching.
Anyone that's looking, give me a perception check.
I'm just writing a letter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing away and just watching this all go down. Just not saying. Not well. I'm a while away.
I'll be keeping an eye out as well.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to can roll perception checks for keeping an eye.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nice.
That is 18.
Nice. 18 dirty 20s. They're pretty good. There's a few people walking backwards and forwards, and they are like taking a little bit of interest in there. Like, it is just a normal street day, and there's a small halfling tinkering around on the front door of the pub. With that 18 and with the 20, you hard to pinpoint exactly that, but you see what look to be slightly better dressed. You like catch the eye of someone walking up who's slightly better dressed, like quite nice like cape on. Maybe catch the glimpse with that dirty 20 of a weapon here or there. Don't recognise them for looking at them, but you see these slightly better dressed humanoid figures, and you see one one up to the top, and as you're looking up, you're like, and they like kind of disappear off, and then Von, you kind of like check to the the opposite direction, and you kind of catch one, and as you kind of like looking both, they disappear again. They walk off around the corner, not much to look at, and you kind of catching a glimpse. They're not stood just staring, but you're kind of catching a glimpse of these like slightly better dressed folk than you're used to seeing this in the area, and with the dirty 20 you potentially see some arms on them, but they're not coming towards you, they're not scoping you, you kind of catching them with those high perception rolls that they're definitely slightly out of place this morning. But you unlock the door, Corin. So yeah, you pretty deft with your tools managed to unlock the door, and yeah, as you test it, the latch opens and you push slightly and the door is ready to be opened.
I'm sorry, I would have to go. It's like an emergency.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. I was about to say, that's my line. You blow up. Cool. So Corin lets you guys know that the door is open. What would you like to do?
Hey, Otter, go try the door.
Arthur ignores. Kate billowing in the wind, but there's no wind.
Hey, Faywin, go try the door.
Why don't you try the door, Zaga?
I'm keeping
I
watch.
pack up my writing kit. I look around for anyone else to try the door.
I will try the door.
Nice.
Zaga, keep an eye out.
Corin's kind of like he's kind of like waving you guys. He's opened it like so the latch is off. So you imagine like the door's just open on the latch. And he's kind of look back to you guys to kind of like, come on, are you coming over? And you're all just staring back at him. He's like, come on, the door's open, let's go. So you going over, Vaughn?
Reluctantly, yes.
Cool. You blow up.
I say to Zaga on the way over, keep an eye out. We both noticed those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye out on them.
Zaga keeps an eye out.
Cool. So yeah, you keep in an active perception watch. Will keep your 20 rolling over as you go up and open the door. As the door starts to crack open, there it's just dark inside, as you can see. So as you're like opening in, you don't hear any movement, and as you kind of slowly keep the door open, it's just definitely quiet in the upstairs of the Silent Dagger.
How big is Silent Dagger?
Not that big. You fought on it before, didn't you? It was only like maybe a bit bigger than 40 by 40.
Yeah,
Maybe 50 by
right.
50. It was about that. It's a small square pub. There wasn't a huge amount. You know when you fought the guards and stuff in there before. It's that size. It's not huge.
Mm.
You should be able to.
I accidentally rolled an initiative
You rolled
check.
initiative.
I feel like it was probably for the best.
That's the best initiative roll you've ever rolled.
I know.
It's been quiet before when you've been in here, but you get the feel that it's like you're not hearing any movement in this upstairs. You're in now. Like you would have normally had Marcus knocking around or Evelyn, or there's not been a huge amount of people in the morning. Like you guys have stayed over, been pretty much the only guests. So it's not weird that it's quiet. It's weird that the door was locked. There's no bar person, and it's like very apparent, like you hear your own footsteps very apparently in your ear as you're straining to hear anything, and you hear nothing else.
Can I walk up behind Vaughn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I would like to send my weasel in to scout. Oh, don't kill him, I swear.
Keep your notes up. Okay.
Zaga notices the weasel leaving the pocket.
Remember, you stayed back because you're a little pussy. Right?
I've changed what I look
Back
like.
off.
I've changed what I look like just while we're doing this.
Yep.
Bill will look like a weasel.
No, I've made myself look like a standard dock worker.
Yeah.
Because that's what I remember looking like, just a human dock worker.
Yeah.
I'm whistling, but not very well.
Nice.
So yeah, I want to tell the weasel.
Yep.
To go in here, try and stay hidden, and come back and let me know what you see.
Mm-hmm. So you
Send him in,
let the
please.
weasel go in. Give me a perception check for the weasel as he scampers around. Give me a perception and a stealth, actually.
So it'd be 19 for perception. And...
Yep.
Sorry, I have to do maths with the weasel, you see.
Ah.
14 for stealth.
14 for stealth. So it scampers in, and once it's made its first couple of steps away, dead silence. You don't hear the weasel as it trots around the place, sniffing and getting a feel. And probably it takes like a good minute going around and checking everything, and then comes scampering back, shoots straight up your leg, like into the pocket, and it pokes its head out and conveys to you that
In the voice, please.
in the voice. I can't remember what I did for the voice now. No, you're not speaking to animals. It just conveys it with a look.
I've cast it.
You've cast it, have you? Oh no, we're gonna fucking die! Don't send me in there. No, it says there's no one in there. There's no one in there. There's no food. There's no one. Nothing.
You didn't, like, perhaps did you go in all of the rooms? There's just nobody?
I went in all the cupboards. There's no food.
Okay, but not just food, Weasel. Did you see any people? Was there anything that looked quite suspicious? Were there boxes that shouldn't have been? Oh, not that you would know what they'd look like, but
No, just no food.
Okay, but not just food. I'm gonna need you to go back in there and look for stuff that isn't food. Any
There's
signs of
chairs?
Pardon?
Chairs?
No, not
Tables?
just chairs. No, not tables. Any signs of anybody having been hurt, or see if there's clothes in the back wardrobe, or
In the washing basket. How's he gonna get a wardrobe? It's Weasel.
might be open.
Can Zaga pipe in here?
Yep.
God damn, you couldn't have stolen a weasel that was trained properly.
Don't start, Zaga. I'm training him, okay? Is there anything else you want me to ask him to scout out? He says there's nothing in there. Nobody's there. It's completely empty. And apparently there's no food, which is helpful.
And I cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, you can cast Detect Magic.
Do I...
Where are you looking with your Detect Magic?
Well, because it's a 30-foot sphere, isn't it? So
Sphere,
I imagine that will...
Inside?
Oh,
Because you're coming
yeah.
back out the door, right? Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought we went inside.
Oh, you went inside. Okay. Well, if you went inside, then yeah, you.
Well, I
you
stepped
also-
in,
You
yeah.
stepped, yeah. So as the weasel's gone in, and like you saw the weasel scamper then into like the back and the kitchen area, and then come back out again, and yeah, doesn't get sight of anyone. As you're looking around with the tech magic, you're not seeing any magical presence up or
Because I'm assuming
down.
it would pick up Vex's magic as a type of magic.
No, it picks up magical items, doesn't it?
Well, it says invisible creature or object in the area that bears magic.
But yeah, but I think it's not just I'm pretty sure it doesn't just highlight magical beings, because then
Okay.
let me check though.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works.
Whenever I've ever heard it described, it's more that they have magic on them, as in because then it'd be because of this any visible creature or object in the area that bears. Also, you can only, if it's visible creature, then it's in the room.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you still get the presence without seeing the aura. Then you the presence is just a default thing. Then the aura is when you can actually see and actually like try and see the aura.
Oh, free field. Google. I don't think it can.
I just think because obviously seeing the mention of a creature, I didn't know whether that meant that you can just detect if a creature
Does not
is
detect
magical.
spellcasters. Yeah, okay. Detect magic. What can it detect? It does not detect spellcasters even if they concentrate on a spell, nor does it detect items or creatures created by instantaneous spells or magic. So it is just
okay, so
magical
I wouldn't be able to tell if Vex is there.
Oh no, I think it's people that choose it. Yeah, I think it's magical items rather than people that are spellcasters.
Okay.
Unless they were doing something magical at the time that was caused. But if they're just living, then no. Because you'd be able to use it to. Although there is a way of doing it in the world, but yeah, I don't think it works like that.
Okay. In which case, I am going to kind of like think and speak in my head. Vex, if you can hear me, let me know.
Okay.
At this point, I send the weasel to do a check around the perimeter.
Nice. Give me a perception check for the perimeter.
14.
14. Nice. As it dots around what are you telling it to look for as it goes around the perimeter?
Any sign of struggle or a quick escape or anyone or anything that looks a bit dodgy that makes him feel horrible? Not food. You know, kind of that like gut feeling of this is not safe.
The weasel definitely doesn't like Zaga.
Yeah, that sort. When Zaga's looking at him, that sort of feeling is what I'm asking him to check for.
Cool. So he like shoots off around. I'm just trying to find this thing as well. Hayward to check. Nice. Yeah, so he shoots off round the block, and you're sat and waiting, Von. You don't get anything back in terms of a message. As you sit and kind of wait for a response, stood inside the pub. As he does a full trip, and he sprints off quickly as he leaves you to make sure he's cleared from Zaga's kind of path and sight, and as he shoots around and comes back, says that it doesn't see anything doesn't seem anyone that seems dodgy, didn't find any food, but yeah, nothing untoward, nothing around the back of the pub that looked odd to them. They said there was people moving around, but nothing that made him feel scared, like when Zaga looks in.
So I say to Hayward, Jesus, I say to Von Van, I let him know that the weasel's not seen anything dodgy. And I'm like, what is going on here? Do you think Corin was right and I don't know, we knew too much and now they've upped and left? Or?
I don't know. I don't think we should stay around here.
Maybe you're right.
So just to retcon back, so there is with something else that I have in the world elsewhere, there is a thing called an awareness. So we can retcon it. You can use detect magic to give this like awareness, which for 1 minute lets you know whether there's arcane or innate spellcasters, so sorcerers, within 1 mile. But that will
all right, so it's not very useful.
No, it'll just pick up because it's they use a spell slot to have that spell. I was like, I know they have it, and I know they can note that there are definitely spellcasters around. But yeah, it's just all you know is that you don't give you location or numbers. You just know they're spellcasters. So if you were to use that, you would just pick up yourself.
Pointless, Okay. I'm going to come back out of the pub and close the door behind me. And regroup with the others. Although we did not see Arthur change form, did we? So
no.
We
probably stood in the same spot, just looking.
We wonder why there's a random human stood in the spot where Arthur was standing
with a billowing cape.
Yeah,
with
the cape's
the same cape.
Same cape. I like the capes to tell.
That's not changed in the disguised person.
Yeah.
The billowing cape
They keep
stays.
that the same. Cool. Yeah. As the weasel check, there's nothing that was screaming out to you to say that anyone's in there. It looked quiet. No Marcus, no Evelyn, and you close the door and leave. No response to your request.
That's strange.
What's the plan? You stood outside the Silent Dagger.
Should we move away slightly, do you think, in case someone comes back? Maybe just watch it and see if there's any...
Let's either get a bit of a distance, but keep an eye on the pub.
I'd like to use the remainder of my talking with animals spell, just to do a bit of training with the weasel.
Okay, nice. Roll an animal handling check.
Fuck's sake, 9.
It's frustrating. Weasel seems very, very focused on food. very focused on food. It's stopping the progress that you want because it's like food.
You only get food when you do something right.
Gets back into your pocket.
I move the food from that pocket into my pocket.
Wow.
And I zip it up.
Slave driver. Let's bring back the weasel man.
No!
Give me back my weasel! Sweet. So yeah, you're outside the Silent Dagger. You're stood around, not getting any response from the Silent Dagger at the moment as you close the door. Where would you like to go from here? You have, you haven't had a response. Well, Corin hasn't had a response. He hasn't checked for a response from the fees, but he only set that out this morning, so there is no. He wouldn't expect a response. You could go to the Thistle and Shamrock if you want to force the hand of the guys that you knew. Or you
Are we further north now? Is the Silent Dagger a bit further north?
The Silent Dagger is further north. If you wanted to go up to try and find a courier, you'd have to make your way up into the shopping district.
Can I do that?
Yeah. If you, I mean, it's up to you guys where you want to go and what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to make your way up, try and find a courier, yeah, you can make your way into the district. It gets busier the further north you go into the main town part of. I think it's called South Town. Yeah, South Town is where all the commercial and trade districts are. That most of the inns and shops and smiths and stuff. And there's as you get further north, there's way more of a hustle and bustle that catches on. And it is, as you're looking around, you see a few younger humans kind of sat up by a big tree in the central square, and they have sacks on their side. You've seen in Allhath with the Commonwealth a few of these that look they're essentially foot runners for couriers, not quick, but they can deliver a message, and you see a few of them sat around chatting. They're just outside adolescence, probably those that have skipped they're not rich enough to have had a full school education, so they're that mid-teen to late teen before they're a proper adult and can go and work in the factories, that sort of age group. But you can see them as they're kind of sat around. A few of them you can go and approach if you would like to send your letter.
Are they going to be trustworthy? Are there no office actual city sprints about? Or?
No, this is Redvant. It's a law of the town.
I would like to approach them.
Mm-hmm.
Say, hello. I'm wondering if somebody could help me. I'm looking to send a very urgent letter to Allhath.
Urgent letter to Allhath. Yeah, we can help you out. How urgent's urgent?
I need it there as soon as possible.
Well, as soon as possible costs a bit of money in this day and age. You can't just go running around. Have you heard the trouble of getting to Allhath these days? And the other one's yeah, I went there last week. There's gnolls everywhere, bloody spies. Honestly, treacherous run.
Yeah, I'm well aware, but I need this letter to get there. You say it's gonna cost, but how do I know that you will get there safely and deliver the message?
Just pats his chest I'm the best damn foot runner this side of Allhath. If I ain't gonna get it there, no one's gonna get it there.
How quickly can you deliver?
Well, as quick as my feet can go. It's a couple of days trek. Well, it's at least 3 days trek if I go there the fastest route, but I ain't always the safest route, and you know what? Fast costs money. I got to dodge some stuff. You don't know who's out there on the road these days. So what do you want? You want this gone on? What is it? Letter? Big letter, little letter? What we got? How quick can I move with it?
It's a small letter.
Small letter? Hey, that'll go in. I feel pretty confident I'll be able to get it there in, the 3 days. Suppose quick though, isn't it? And he looks up at the skies weather might turn as well. That means less rest on the road. Make sure keep it dry for you as well.
You don't have a mount or something that could help you go quicker?
I'm the fastest foot runner. If I had a mount, I wouldn't be delivering post, would I?
Well, you might be just on a mount. I look at Von. Von, are you there? No? Okay. I look around, looking for anybody.
Arta
Please.
steps in, still disguised as a human.
Yep.
Boy, what's going on here then?
Well, we're just trying to do a bit of business. It's a lovely lady who wants us to get a letter to Allworth. I'm just explaining it's a bloody difficult journey.
Why are you doing it?
I'll do it if she pays the price.
What's the price? You haven't said the price. I don't think. I don't know. I was listening. I wasn't listening. I was over there.
He hasn't said the price.
It's because we're trying to work out the deliveries. How big is it? How quick do you want it there? How urgent is it? It's going to cost you 150 gold.
You can fuck off.
Did you say that in Elvish?
Yeah. Thank you.
What? Was that? I don't speak. What? Is that a yes? I mean, it's a very dangerous job.
150 gold with no guarantee that you'll get it there.
I give you my guarantee. If I don't come back, it's because I've gone. That's 150 gold for a life of a young, fast foot runner like me.
Quick question about a character.
Yep.
How far away is Allworth if
About 3
you were
days.
on a mount?
On a mount, it's quicker.
Yes.
On foot is.
Like, I don't know, a hippogriff, for example.
People, do you think people just fly around on hippogriffs?
Yeah!
No,
God!
but not everyone's running around with fucking. It's not bloody
Honest
Harry
has one.
Potter. Everyone's
Yeah,
just
well,
flying
maybe we
around
should-
with bloody hippogriffs. Where are we, Redvant?
What
Where-
about joint eagles?
You know,
Redvant,
if you were say a horse, how long would it take a horse to get there?
A hot. So,
But he's not a
yeah, you
horse.
would
He's
know
a
the
man
difference.
or a boy or a child.
A lot of the all have to.
This is our character.
Yeah, I don't know if you do that.
Yeah.
A lot of the all have, because you can either some of them go by boat. It's 2 days on a boat, but it's way quicker that all have to Redvant on the boat because you're going against it. So not many boats run the opposite way. So if they're going to go, you're going to go into the Borderlands to get there. So it is like a 3 or 4 day. It's probably a 3 day. Yeah, if there's a 3 day trek on the trade routes that are there to go into the Borderlands, across a few of the like stop off points, and then head up to Allworth. There's no Redvant because of where it is. It's got a much quicker direct route to Pickland up north and then to Allworth, but that's going to be like 5 or 6 days. So most people will to Allworth take the routes through the Borderlands and take the risk there, which there is risk in the Borderlands. If you come in Allworth back to Redvant, you can get on a boat, which is a bit safer. So probably, Fabian, you would have taken a boat when you came from Allworth to Redvant along the way, because it would have been the safest, and you would have had the means to be able to pay for it as well. So it is a decent journey.
God, 150 gold is a bitch. Just
You can roll it. You can roll an insight check as well if you want.
7.
7. You feel like 150 gold is the price.
Right, I've got an idea. How about half now and half on delivery?
That don't work for me, does it? What if I get eaten on the way down? I've got family to
Well,
look after.
if you get eaten, you're not going to need the money, are
Look,
you?
if you don't want to pay the price, you don't have to pay the price, you know?
Oh, I bet there's someone better.
There's no one quicker. 150
I
gold.
turn off my disguise self.
Oh. Okay. That was fancy. Look, you either want your let it done or you don't want your let it done. Between us here, it's got to be 150 gold. You look like you're good for it.
Okay, so I look at the rest of the boy children that he sat with.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any offers? If you want to take this, can anyone else do it quicker? Maybe for less?
Quicker? I can't do it quicker. I'll do it for 150, right? And he goes, it's 150. Yeah, 150. I could do 150. It's the price, isn't it? The price is the price.
Can I look around and see if there's any other of these street urchins just knocking about with their little backpacks?
I'm just imagining them having little cankins,
They've just got little satchels.
but dressed in rags.
As you look around now, you can't see. Roll a perception check, though.
19.
19. You look around, you're like, little nubbheads. You can see the bustling of the shop and stuff as you're looking at it, but yeah, as you look around, can't see any more distractions. But you then pick up like on each of the. So the way that the square, well, it's not really square, it's more like a fucking blob. But there's the big tree in the middle these guys are sat on. And you know that there's one little alleyway that cuts off, which is where the magic shop was. You know that there was a wider alleyway to the north, which is where the 3 blacksmiths were. And you can see that the little calves, and there's a few inns that I think the Druid's Grove's not far from here as well. So it's quite a big square, but it's lots of little offshoots of roads. And you pick up, as you're looking around, like in one of the roads, you see, again, just like lit up against one of the walls, like a nicely cloaked. Again, someone that just looks a little bit too well dressed out of here on a 19. And you're like, oh, and you look around and you see one that looks very similar on a different entrance as well. You look back to the first one and he's gone. But no little boys.
Are they, as we notice them, do they each disappear?
You not like they catch. So as you look at one, you just kind of, as you're looking, because you're looking for like another courier like these things, you catch and you're like, oh, that's like almost like, oh, they're wearing that's like a nice cloak. And then you look and you're like, oh, that one looks like the first one. So as you look back to the first one, they're just not there anymore. It's not like as they catch you, they run off. They're never like looking directly in direction, but you're picking up that they're like floating around.
Does Faywin mention it since me and Don
yeah, I was going to say to the little urchins.
Yeah.
So right, I'll think about it and I'll come back. Guys, come over here and step away from them and their little annoying fucking ears.
Like, you know what the price is? We're here all day. Unless, you know, someone else taps us up. It's a good price. They go back and they just start like...
In Elvish, if you're that good, you wouldn't be here, would you? You'd be already be on a job, little shit. And then I step away and I want to let the guys know what I've seen. Have you guys noticed those, like, they're really well dressed. Like, the cloak's nearly as nice as Arthur's, and it just...
Whoa.
I look at Bonbon.
Whoa.
They kind of, like, pop up and vanish. Did anyone else see that?
We saw the same thing near the pub.
Really? Were they
Yeah.
like... And then I explain exactly what they look like.
I want to stand behind or in front of the 3 taller people.
Yeah.
So that I'm blocked from sight from either end of, from either alley or whatever that these people were looking down. And I want to cast invisibility on myself. And as I do it, I say, "Don't worry, I'll scout around."
Stay safe, Saga.
Cool. So,
and I'm going to wander off and sort of circle the area and, you know, see if I can see any of these people watching and see if I can find one to follow.
Nice. Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Not good. 7.
You're searching for a while, and then you briefly catch the cloak of one making their way like away from one of the alleyways, and you're spending like a good 3 or 4 minutes. The rest of you are kind of stood around in the middle as one of them turns, and you just catch it as they're turning. You'd have to kind of chase your way up behind him, but yeah. With that
I want to try and do that. I won't try and be too stealthy because I assume this is a crowded area and I'm invisible already.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? You want to catch up to them so they're walking away through the crowd, and you're having to because you're invisible. You're going to have to. So it's slowing you down to dodge people. Otherwise, you're going to or you bump into them and they're like, oh.
Is there somewhere I can gain some high ground?
Yeah, there will be briefly. You could there'll be some almost like water troughs that'll be on the side of some of the buildings. So it's an alleyway that kind of crookeds out, and there's a few people backwards and forwards. If you want to scamper up on something to get above the height of people, you could.
Yeah, I just want to try and track one of these as they wander around and see if they go back to anyone else or.
Cool.
They've obviously. You've seen them a few places now.
Yeah. So you pop up on there. Give me. So you know what you're looking for. Give me a perception or investigation, whichever you'd like. But I think they're both the same.
Yeah, let's go investigation again. I can't roll that badly again. he says as he rolls pretty badly. 10.
10. So you catch the cloak as it moves, and it goes up the alley and like kind of skirts off to the left. As you spin around to look back towards the central area, you can't see any of them there, but you get a good look, and you can see that these are definitely better dressed, like clean dress. They have cloaks, so you can see that they tried to blend in as much as possible. So the cloaks are like a dark grey, so you can see that they're kind of like blending in, and they look to be fairly similar in dress. If it isn't a uniform, they're all at least wearing the same cloaks, the ones that you've spotted as you're going around, but you don't see them kind of come back on themselves. But yeah, they definitely look out of place, slightly cleaner and better dressed, and you definitely saw weapons on them before.
Zaga has a plan. So I'll go back to the group. Say, hey, they definitely these guys. They definitely not the regular people around here, and I'm pretty sure they're all carrying weapons. What I'm gonna do is, if you guys want to move on or go about your business, I'm gonna follow at a distance, kind of like these guys are, and see if I can pick any more of them up.
Oh, are you trying to get a date?
I mean, if they're put out.
Nice. And I put my thumb up.
Who has spent time with this will be high, and it's a real shame Bern's not here. I might roll for Bern. Von, Faywin, can you roll history checks for that description? Zaga, you wouldn't have a clue. And Arta, roll one at disadvantage, because of you passing through, you might have... Nate for Bern.
21.
21, nice.
13.
Okay.
History, you said?
Yeah.
That is a 5.
Okay. So
I'm
yeah,
so smart.
you pass through. So with the description, you caught sight of them as well, and then with like I said, he's got a plan of going in there. They sound a lot like professional trackers, not necessarily like hunters, but like people trackers, like bounty hunters,
Like private investigators.
kind of, yeah, border on. They're not known for being, and it's weird, not like weird to see them in Redvant. They definitely have done business in Allhearth before, and there's a few that like knock around. There's one like very formidable group that are called a very good name called the Bloodhound Trackers, and they've got a pretty good reputation for collecting bounties on people, for like finding people that have gone missing. Known for they're not like rough and ready, gonna murder everyone when they come in. They're like very well respected, essentially bounty collectors, bringing people in alive and collecting on their bounties. They kind of piece it together, seeing how they're operating, and then you pick is like the whole thing kind of boom, light bulb goes. You're like, shit, that sounds like, if not the Bloodhound Trackers, someone very similar to them, and they are these like they're here. They must be here to collect a bounty of some sort, but who has a bounty?
Guys,
I can't not think of the Bloodhound Gang when you said that.
Dagger's going to go up and start singing "You and Me, Baby Ain't Nothing But Numbers."
So as you guys look around from being like in the square now, again, you've like kind of the ones that were there, you've lost sight of.
okay, so I want to kind of say, like, guys, this is going to sound like a really weird question, but are any of you on the run?
Not a fan of running.
No.
The only reason that I ask is, from Zaga's description, from what I saw just then, and Von, you said that they were at the pub as well, right? At the Silent Dagger?
Yeah.
They sound like something I've read about before. They sound like trackers. And the fact that we've seen them more than once now. First at the inn, and then it feels like maybe they've followed us. I just wonder why it
One
feels
of us
like
is
too
being
much-
tracked.
Well, this is it. It feels like too much of a coincidence. What if, I don't know, one of us or all of us, or, you know, we've not been the most subtle in our antics over the last 7 days.
Yeah, but they look out of place here. Surely, if it was someone from Redvant getting these trackers to follow us, they would have just gone more local to the town, right? These don't seem like natives to Redvant.
Zaga, Zaga, is you here at this point? Or have you gone off?
You're still listening. Maybe we grab one.
What do you mean, grab one?
Well, we grab one and make them talk.
I mean, they disappear as quickly as they appear.
Well, that's why I'm going to hang back and follow at a distance, kind of like they do.
What if they can't talk? You thought of that?
I'll make them talk.
What happens if they don't have mouths or tongues, or I don't know what you use to speak. I just know I do it a lot.
Zaga, I think it's not a bad idea to almost track the trackers, but I think we should stay relatively close by just in case. I don't feel comfortable with you even invisible, and I'm kind of like looking around because I don't actually know where he stood.
Yeah.
Holding the weasel at the same time in my pocket.
It's all just an elaborate ploy to get the weasel.
Well, slowly eat
I
my
didn't
pear.
see anybody.
Von
Bonbon.
Yeah.
Wait. Did he tell us that he's got sending stones now?
I don't know. Well, how much you didn't really share that much of what went on in the room. So it's how much of what went on with Sylvanas has been shared with everyone.
Nothing really, because I did it in Elvish.
So no.
Got this idea, Zaga.
Yeah. You never guess what I got.
If only there was a way to communicate between us while I'm further away and invisible and watching you guys from afar. That would be great.
That would be magical, some would say.
Even if you're more than a stone's throw away.
Yes, I happen to have this this sending stone that can do just that, Zaga.
Don't you?
What?
Wow. Okay, but we need code names.
No, it doesn't quite work how you want it to work.
But we need code names.
What's your code name, Zaga?
I'll be Big Blue.
Delusional.
But aren't you red, Zaga?
I'm invisible. It doesn't matter what color I am.
I love that you guys have just stood in the middle for a while. Definitely not looking sus.
Look, we're coming up with
What's your
plans.
code name?
Well, I'll let you decide my code name. I don't care. Take the stone.
Okay. But remember, when we talk to each other, you've got to finish the message with over and out.
If you send a message, I can reply immediately. That's the only use we get of it. So don't be stupid with what you send.
Yeah, you get one use, right?
You can only use it once. It's not like a
Per long
ongoing
rest.
Once per
walkie-talkie.
long rest.
Oh, is it once for long rest?
Yeah, it's a single message.
Okay, I will not waste it on something stupid.
I definitely
all
won't
out
waste
now.
it on something stupid.
Knock, knock.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So you give the sentence stone? What's the plan?
Yes.
Where else are you heading to allow?
Well,
assuming you're
I
gonna
assume
move
you're
to
looking
hang
for
back.
a cheaper courier.
Yeah, 150 gold. That's bang out of order.
I think we'll just walk around town for a bit, just to try and find another courier.
Or someone heading in that direction. You know, there's got to be someone going towards Allhearth, right?
Yeah, but if you're going to walk around, say, walking around the centre of town, trying to accidentally bump into someone that might be going out to Allhearth is a bit of a tall order. So if you're going to want to do that, you probably want to go out to the west, towards the west gate, where travellers will be coming in and coming out of the city. Like if you want, the couriers will be the guys those ones that are in there that you found in the town for like giving letters to. If you want to just like give a letter to someone that's maybe making a delivery or on a transport or riding out, you're going to want to find people that are about to leave the city, right? So you're going to want to go to the city gates.
How far are the gates from where Zaga's doing his mission?
They would suit the mission, I think, well.
Yeah, Zaga's following behind you guys.
It's like a 25-30 minute. It's the same. Like you're in the center of town, and you want to go out. I was trying to get the map up, and you want to go out to the west where you were going to Old Bridge in the south. So you're talking. It's probably like a 30-minute walk to get to the far west, which would be the way that you'd leave to go towards the Borderlands. It's like the exit. Probably one of the main. One of the exits from the city. The Hot Valley in the north is probably getting a bit more busy because it's got the proper trade route there.
I might head to the west and see if there's anyone going over Woolworth Way while we wait for Zaga to report back. I'm not paying little street urchins 150 gold.
Wow, not hoping these poor debonair
Little rat bag.
Little rat bags. Cool. So you guys start making your way, out of the southwest, out of the south town towards the west. You'll pass through what's called the Cattle Way, which is like the more of that shanty town area. Where it's a lot more residential as you pass out. Kind of the buildings get smaller, they get less nicely constructed as you would be making your way towards the palisade fence and the opening that takes you out to the west. And there's a few things on that west side on the way out. There's where there'll be like some stables and it's where most of the travel in and out would go. You'd normally find an inn around that area, but there's not really an inn there. But it's more just for setting up carts, like cart salesmen, horse salesmen, and then stables for renting stuff from that side. So you guys all heading off that way, yep? Apart from Zago, who's going to hold back.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a 25-minute walk. Oh, yep.
No, that's like plan as in we have a plan for once.
Yay!
I'm just trying to send a fecky letter.
You could have. It's just cost you a mere 150 gold.
Wouldn't be anyone around town that has like a messenger pigeon or anything like that, you know? To fly it there to get a bit quicker.
How long would it take for a bird to fly there?
Real long. You'd have to get the birds over here as well from the home back. It's like a long flight. Anyway, you're heading out over there. Carrier pigeons. You can invent them if you'd like. Or just use the couriers that are there. So you start heading your way out. Zaga, you hold back and let them get away. What are you... give me a perception check for just trying to catch... Are you going to try and catch the first sight of someone? Or are you going to like pace yourself just a little bit behind and see what's going on?
I wanna follow behind at the kind of distance that the trackers were keeping on us earlier. Okay. So just enough to keep these guys in sight, but also to be looking around closer to where I am and to see if I'm noticing any more of these people. Yeah. Following as well.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
My passive is 11.
11, okay. It's okay. We'll see how quickly you can get into it then. So give me a perception check. There'll be 3 perception checks. That the quicker you get to the mark, the more information you can find out.
5.
Okay, cool. So as you're tracking behind them, you keep in sight, but again, you're invisible, trying to dodge around people. So you're finding it difficult to keep track of them and watch out for people. So 5 minutes goes, 5 or 7 minutes goes as they're walking away through. Give me another one.
That is a 12.
12. You catch, you're getting frustrated as you're like dancing, trying to dance through. Again, you're not the tallest, so you're managing to squeeze through, but squeezing through people that are 3 foot taller than you and keep sight and look out for people, it's a challenging task. But as you are almost getting super frustrated with it, the path starts to widen up as it comes out of Southtown into Cataway, and you manage to skirt right to the kind of left-hand side where you've got a bit of a clearer path, and you catch sight about 10 foot in front. So you've fallen back from them now. You see about 10 foot in front of you, you can see one of those grey capes. And then your friends, you assume, is a bit further in front. You can't quite see your group, but if you've got these the capes, they're the ones you want to go for. So you can weasel your way up behind them.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep close to the grey cloak now.
Yeah, nice. So as you get up behind and you're following through, you see another grey cloak kind of just appears out of nowhere from the right to walk in tandem with them, and they start having a conversation.
Ooh. I want to listen into this conversation.
I'm assuming you want to listen to this conversation. Can you give me your you'll get some stuff with a passive listening anyway. You don't have anything to help you with this, do you? Which is
am I trying to be stealthy near them and silent behind them?
Okay, yeah. Give me a stealth check to get as close as you can to listen without disturbing.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, nice. So you manage to like get almost in the wake of them, dodging between where their capes are flowing and where their footsteps are. So they're because they're walking side by side, they're almost creating the funnel in the wave to give you space, which means you can get in behind, creep up, and get a good listen to what they're saying. You get from the size that these are two like quite larger of these different people that you've seen. There are a few of them dotted around. One is either a full orc or a half orc, and the other one appears to be even taller than them. So is either a giant orc or some sort of like mini giant or something. Nothing you've seen before, but definitely bigger than the first one. Like kind of. You wouldn't really be able to see their face from where they are as well, but these two look like big old towering figures. And you hear them talking backwards and forwards about the track, about the having sight on the target, and you hear them say at the edge, well, when they get to the edge of town, we'll grab the halfling.
Okay, I want to fall back from them at a distance where I don't think they'll hear me, and I want to pull out my sending stone.
Yep.
And to the sending stone, I'm going to say, "Come in, natural blonde. This is Big Blue. Come in, natural blonde. This is Big Blue." They're going to grab the halfling at the edge of the city. Protect the halfling. Big Blue out.
What did you call me? Natural blonde.
Yeah, natural blonde.
Natural blonde here. Roger, over and out.
So you guys, and at this time,
and with that, I was hoping that I could have like at least kept my eye on these two since they're so fucking big.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna follow behind them still. I'm not gonna try and get in front of them again.
Yeah.
Do we all hear the sending stone, or is it just Von?
It's just Von. So you have to like it kind of, I think it like pulsates when it's being used, and you have to.
You hear it in your head.
Oh, okay, yeah. I knew it wasn't out loud because it gets you in trouble.
Yeah, it does the sending spell, which
yeah, it's in your head. Yeah, so you would have got that, and you guys are. You can see now that the path, the route that you are walking on is starting to open up now towards the. You can see the walls in your sight of the edge of the city, as you get that message from. By the time once you send the message and look back, you realise one of the capes has disappeared. Zaga, and you're following one. One still is on track. The much larger one has disappeared off to the site now, but you still have track of one of them there.
Did you lose someone that big?
They are skilled.
And obviously, I reply in my mind as well. Yeah. So obviously, the other two didn't hear, so I relate to them. Or I relate to all three of them that we must protect Corin. That's who they're after.
Yeah.
Do you relay your code name?
No, I do not say my code name at all.
You sure you
the hat of disguise needs attunement. I was going to say I'll just put my hat on Corin's head.
Yeah, it does need attunement. That was the arrow. That would have been good. Yeah, so you guys, so as you guys are walking up to the gate, you have this information. So you're coming to where the kind of it open as it gets towards the kind of entrance and exit. It's Redvant. There's not really guards there, but there's people posted up there who are selling stuff or doing stuff. And as you imagine, it kind of the housing kind of tails off out as it opens up, a bit like a mouth of a river, where you're in a bit of an open ground before you've got the two big, the edge of the walls with a big gate there. And you're coming up to that area now. Is there anything you would like to do pre, or you're just going to walk in? Because you can be prepped essentially. As now you have that information, that you can be ready, in that your chance of being surprised is quite low, because you know something might be happening. You have Corin, who has some explaining to do when he's here. But you guys at the front carrying forward.
Just want to send a letter.
Just want to play Animal Crossing. So yeah, you guys, as you guys step forward, you see a single figure. Like, so as you're coming, you're probably like 20 foot from the gate now, and you see a single cloaked figure stand out from the gate, step in the middle, and just look straight down towards Corin, and just says, I forget what his surname is, Grandis. Just like, Corin, Grandis, we are here for you. Please come quietly. We do not need to fight. And I think we'll stop there, because he should be defending himself.
Yes, he should.
So yep, you've stepped up. Zaga, you're behind, and you are tracking. There's one behind you there, but yeah, the other four of you step. As you step forward, this person steps out, just bellows towards the middle, eyes directly at Corin. Says they are here to collect, and you don't need to fight. And we will pick up the next week.
So we're definitely fighting, yeah.